Let's play for feeling spiffy?
Expand your thinking.
That won't do.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Watch it crumble.
Can you find the answer?
Never hesitate! Trap! Forever triumph! Victory is inevitable!
Expand your thinking.
Feeling spiffy?
Be of your body and mind. Everything in this world is bleeding.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Glimpse the unknown.
That won't do. Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Expand your thinking. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void.
The fearless knows not fear. Trap!
Feeling spiffy? Can you find the answer?
Open sesame. Watch it crumble.
Never hesitate! Too slow.
Time to cleanse the filth.
That won't do.
Everything in this world is bleeding.
Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Good numbing. Hello YouTube, hope you're all doing well. We're back in Amphoreus today because the patch just dropped. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Maybe it's just I didn't sleep too brilliantly, so everything feels louder, but this game feels very loud today, so I'm going to turn it down in a minute. But hope you've all been doing well. Hope you had a fantastic couple days. Sorry about no stream yesterday. I know I wasn't really going to anyway, but I was debating streaming to get Tomb Raider Chronicles done because we've got like less than an hour to go, but then I also didn't sleep well that night, so I was just like, you know what, fucking, it's a sign.
Open sesame.
I'm just going to let the rest of this play out and then we'll start properly. But I hope you've all been doing well. We had a fantastic time. Been grinding very hard on DMC 3. Oh, fair. AKA the best difficulty to play DMC 3 because DMD is when it starts to get a little annoying. And hard mode is way too easy once you're more experienced with it. Like very hard is just like the perfect difficulty, I think, for DMC 3. But yes, since it is topical right now, I can spend a minute talking about the Casterus situation. For those who don't know, in the current beta, Casterus has a passive, a special passive, that has become quite controversial because people feel it's an extremely egregious power creep. However, when I read through it and what it does and how it works, my first thought was, okay, so? To those who don't know, the situation is, this special passive makes it that as long as she's on your account, you don't even have to run your team, you don't have to do anything special, as long as she is on your account full stop, you get a party-wide, one-time use, free resurrection per fight. And yes, that is powerful. I am not going to take that away. That is very powerful. To basically have everyone on your party has a second chance. That is a big deal, and I completely get it. However, let's start reading the small print. When it's used, it doesn't resurrect your unit, it suspends them. Then they have to be healed that turn for them to be revived. If they are not, they get one action and then they die again. It's not a resurrection then, it's a second chance. From Kingdom Hearts, is your health gets dropped to 1 and you get a one last opportunity to save yourself or die. That's what that is. Which already immediately neuters it and makes it not seem anywhere near as powerful, because if you have Casterus around, it's like, oh hey, you better have an actual healer with you. If you're just relying on Casterus, it's tough, you've just got one more action, the character's dead anyway. Enjoying Chronicles of Vaniconia yet? Yeah. 2 years from now, yeah. And then, secondly, if you want to talk about power creep, if you want to talk about resurrection and how that can be used to like turn the tide of battle, let me introduce you to Huahua, who's been on my party since I don't know when she first fucking came out, like 1.4. You guys remember Huahua, everyone's favorite little scaredy cat? You know what's in her Eidolon that I have? When she has Divine Provision with an allied target struck by a killing blow, the ally will not be knocked down, and their HP will immediately be restored to the amount equal to 50%. That's Resurrection, and she can use it twice. If you have Huahua in your team, if a party member dies, they just get rezzed to half health for free, no questions asked. Anyone kick up a storm about that? No. Well, ignoring the fact that it's an E2, so you have to get her 3 fucking times, so it's a little more hidden away. No one, because it's just a fucking res. I understand the fear that's like, hey, making it that having a character gives you a system-wide buff is kind of wild. And could set the precedence for them to do it more. To have characters be like, hey, if you have this character, you just get a system-wide buff. That discussion, I am open to. That is yes. Because there's already a major power creep problem in Honkai Star Rail. And that opens the door for it to get way worse. However, I really don't think Castoris is a big deal. Personally. I'm sure there are people out there that can make much better arguments against or in favor, but I just wanted to kind of start this by explaining my point on it, because it's been the only thing I've fucking seen since the beta started, was people screaming to the heavens that Castoris is going to break Honkai Star Rail and it's going to ruin the game and the game's never going to be the same again and it's the worst thing ever, and suddenly sending all these, like, demands to boycott until they fix Castoris, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's really not any of what you're saying. But I get I am slightly biased in the sense of I want to roll for Castoris and I'm excited for Castoris, but even if I wasn't, I still wouldn't see it as a big deal. I'd be like, okay, if I wasn't getting Castoris, I still have Huahua. In fact, where's Bailu? Does Bailu have something? I feel like... There she is. Does Bailu have something in her res? Oh shit, Bailu could heal allies who received a killing blow 1 more time in a single battle. You mean the standard 5-star character that's been available in the game since launch can also resurrect? Are you seeing my point? Like, don't get me wrong, I am completely ready for the discussion, and I completely understand that it opens up a dangerous door by making that you can just get system-wide buffs like that by just owning a character. That is kind of like a, hang on a minute, what the fuck do you mean? I get it. But until it's actually something bad, I'm not fussed. And maybe that's a bad way to take about it, but come on. But yeah, the real power creep will be if the fake characters are lore accurate. I'd like to steal that from chat. That will be the real power creep. But I digress. We're 8 minutes into this stream, and all I've talked about is Castoris. I think it's as important as they feel, but I can at least argue the differences. Yeah, true. I said, and even then, the balance with Castoris' res is, it's not a full res, in a sense. Well, at least not at first. The only way to make it a full resurrection is to have someone else heal them during their time of basically being in suspended animation. Or however they call it when Castoris comes out. That's basically how it seems to come across. C6 Barbs exist, yeah. And C6 Chi-Chi, which I don't fucking think's worth it, but yeah. I think Kokumi as well, but I don't own Kokumi, so I am not actually sure at all. Anyway, new story stuff. Also, the Divergent universe has been completely reset now, which is kind of like... I got to level 100 in that fucking thing. And I'm level 1 again. And I don't know what this is, Golden Scapegoat, but our next thing... Sure, what's the story recap? What's this look like? A mysterious celestial body entangled by three paths appeared in the Memo Keeper's mirror. Amphoreus, the Eternal Land, the next stop of the Trailblaze. But the landing is not a smooth one. After surviving the crash, the Trailblaze squad meets the local Crisis Heirs heroes. They learn about that the titans supporting the world are rotting away, and that the land of Amphoreus is covered in scars. In Okima, the final holy city, the two members of the squad undergo great trials and gain the trust of Aglaia, leader of the Crisis Heirs. Facing a threat from beyond the fog, everyone decides to band together to defeat the Strife Titan Nikador. In order to destroy Nikador's true form, the group plans to infiltrate Castrum Kremnos of the past to discover the truth. At the end of the Abyss of Fate, the Trailblazer communes with the Time Titan Oronix and somehow receives a gaze from Fuli. With the help of their new friend Mem, everyone pieces together Nikador's divinity and obtains the Titan's core flame in the last battle. At last, the young hero Kevin Feinhorn faces his own trial in the holy vortex of Genesis. That's actually a kind of cute recap. That's kind of nice. I know this isn't the patch that introduced it. They've had it for a while, but I've never felt the need to use it. Rotain, Barbara, and Fischl. This was when the game released, yeah. Well, I mean, Chi-Chi was as well, but obviously standard 5 stars, so you have to get a bit luckier. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, to be honest, Amphoreus could be dangerous for my wallet anyway. to take the move, because obviously I want to get Casterus, but also, yeah, I kind of want Kevin. But you know the trouble with like Finon / Kevin is that according to leaks, he's the same patch as the fucking Fate collab, and I'm like, why? Why would you do this? And we've still got Alicia that we've yet to actually meet in this.
Aglaia, with all due respect, this trial's taking far too long.
Yeah, hey, meta humor. Hey, it feels like we've already waited for 42 days. How did you even arrive at that number? Tsukahime collab, where you get Moon as an option, yeah. Which would be fitting considering Hoyoverse and their obsessions of moons. Also, how are we doing on volume? Let me know, because it still sounds kind of loud to me.
What do you think of this, Trinan?
It's not possible to tell for sure what goes on within the vortex. All I can hear are fragments of speech and distant battle cries.
Is it Finon's voice?
The moon is the true ancestor of the OG vampire? Hell yeah. Let's try that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds better to me.
To make out clearly.
I appreciate that you can bring up the volume settings during cutscenes now. That's a nice quality of life that they added a little ago.
Wait, no.
Also, speaking of train on, Tribby is the current 5-star banner that comes with this patch. So if you want the little redhead triplets of terror, you can get them. And they're also Harmony characters, so it's really funny, because it's just like, oh, here's Tribby, here's Robin, like, here's all these, like, wonderful people, and then it's like, who's that little gremlin in the back? What's she doing? What little gremlin? There's no little gremlin. Yeah, there is. Who's that? Points at Sparkle.
Lady Trina.
The Nasalverse vampires are a thing because of humanity got too powerful and just Gaia and Mercury to counter. Oh, fair enough.
Snowy's voice. I can't hear him anymore. There's a sun-like existence in the trial. It's burning him up.
It has come to this, after all.
What now?
Oh, and Mighty is 3 weeks away for anyone who wants Mr. Muscle Man.
Get ready, my Demos.
What's going on?
Plan B. We pull him out when something goes wrong. As I promised you, Aglaya, I will intervene in the trial this time to bring your deliverer out to safety. But that's as far as I will go.
Yeah, go save your boyfriend.
Of course. I know this is not the time to demand any more from you.
Discerning. All right then. To be as prepared as I can, I hope that the two Outlander warriors can also join.
Mighty, you're such a bitch. Mighty, you're just like, fine, I will help you this time. But if I'm going to help you, I'm not going to help you. I'm just going to take the fucking Outlanders. They can do it.
That...
And Castrius is like, no, you fucking do it.
The core flame trial is many times more complicated than a standard ritual. Even the slightest misjudgment, misstep, or hiccup could result in grave consequences. Our two distinguished guests are not obliged to risk their lives for the flame chase journey. Let me join you instead, Lord Mighty.
Can't we all go together?
No. Someone should stay outside in case we need help.
Things have taken a critical turn. Also, Dunhung still isn't voiced. Especially so with Finan's life on the line. Of course, we Nameless will do what is necessary. How should we help?
Join me in the trial to look for Finon. And when we do, Glaya's golden thread will guide us back out. Assuming we survive Nikador's wrath. If something
We
bad
beat
would
him
happen,
once, it's fine.
Castorus, your priority is to ensure the safety of these two. I can find a way out on my own.
Question, Mighty. Like raising my hand like I'm a student in class. Yes, Hazel, whatever you want. So, Castorus can't make physical contact with us, and because if she does, we die. So if something bad were to happen, and, you know, like Dunhung and I get knocked out or something, who's dragging us to safety? Because Castorus can't do it. Is she just gonna have to, like, wear really thick gloves to then pick us up and pull us along?
Yes, Lord Mighty.
Thank you both for your valor. Time to get to work then. Let me have the honor of taking the lead in this battle.
Speak to Aglaya and interfere with the trial. Can I talk to anyone else first? Ain't done. Let's also make our way to the front of the Spirit Basin when we're ready. Well, when you're ready. Does anyone have anything interesting to say?
We can't get rid of...
But yeah, Mighty's cool.
noise.
I'm not going to roll for him because I have a strict no dudes policy, but I know a few people are going to.
Please, stay safe.
May that warrior be safe from harm. When you are ready, I will preside over the ritual on Trinon's behalf.
We can catch up on Genshin mods. Oh, Fez. And team includes Mighty. Oh, we're going to get to trial him then. Hang on, let me think about this. I'll bench Face Shao because Mighty is supposed to be the DPS. I'll bring Robin along because I haven't brought Robin along for a while. I haven't brought Akka on a while for any like fun adventures, and I will bring Fu Shao. Or Fu Xuan. Yeah, let's try this team.
Our reinforcements from beyond the sky. Warriors of high esteem. Please close your eyes and hold your breath. They once kept the fate of this world, and many other challenges safe from the devastating rage of strife. They now seek to venture deep into the trial of divinity, and prove their will to destroy our enemies, as foretold by the prophecy. When the hammer of strife strikes the anvil of the warrior, the heat and impact will leave behind scars, and between them, a demigod shall rise.
Very well. Come forth then. Souls foreign to this realm, and warriors in the making. Follow me into the mist and flames, and come face to face with the greatest fear in the depths of a warrior's heart. And with thy strength, banish the darkness and usher in sunlight. Let all lost souls find courage on a long journey back home.
My eyes! What?
What's the matter? Surprised? Where there's strife, there's carnage. It shouldn't come as a surprise to see such a sight in Nikidor's trial.
Where's Dun Hung?
I don't see him around here. We should go first. Let's pray he stays safe. Huh. The greatest fear in the depths of a warrior's heart, huh? So, this is what he fears the most. Submit or die.
Alright, Mighty. Submit or die.
There's no place for you.
A disaster for us.
So much for the king of those outlanders.
You won't get away, criminal vermin!
Be on alert. The smell of rust is thick in the air.
Tell me your name, brute. Your demise shall be a tale I boast about at the feast table.
My name is Perdiccas, and I am here to avenge my people.
Okay, I know it's a really low-hanging fruit, but Perdiccas? Sorry.
Noans and Akamans are at war?
Perdiccas? Even the tragic cries of beasts at the slaughterhouse sound better than your name.
Say whatever you like, despicable Akaman. Better to die in battle than return even in glory. May the Kremnoan spirit always watch over me.
Foolish brute. I see you're eager
You
to
just
die.
spit at him? Foolish
Very
brute.
well,
Petilla.
I shall grant you just that.
Intervene, stop the soldier, watch on and wait for the trial. I'll try and intervene.
You are... Oh. So the Alpha Brute has found his way here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the Alpha Brute.
It's a pity, though. You're too late. You will never stop the Holy City's army. Watch as I make this pathetic warrior of yours the first sacrifice.
Minimos, my king, avenge me.
Is this?
You're next.
Sound of body contorting and snapping. Oh, I didn't want to show him transforming into some monster, huh? Gotta keep that age rating down.
Face your death, cowardly king.
Yeah, only Zenless can get away with that because it is a higher age rating. Speaking of Zenless, we're 2 weeks off the next story chapter for that coming out, featuring Silver, Anby, and Trigger. And in the promotional art, because also they do a live stream like a week and a bit prior to it to like kind of talk about what's in the actual update officially, etc. Trigger's like playing a harmonica in it, and I'm like, that's actually really cute. They're like, you know, this legendary deadly sniper, and on her downtime just plays the harmonica.
This insatiable bloodlust is a product of Nikidor's wrath.
Harmony and unison. Together as one.
As tempting as it is to just immediately pop Robin's, I'll hold off. I haven't actually used Mighty at all, so I kind of want to see how he works.
Forever doomed.
I will pop this though.
All things in this world, yet stratagems, constellations, are human creations.
Sure, we'll just pop it.
Stars echo.
Welcome to my world.
Hang together.
What's your default attack look like? Oh, okay, just the same thing it is on the field. Oh, it's only one wave. Okay, we're not going to get to see this then, I don't think.
The work.
Oh, hey, Mighty, your health. I've noticed the problem, Mighty. You'd, like, tank your own health.
Absurd. I know this, Akumen. Strife contorted an honorable...
Maybe I might put Huahua in instead, so you can actually be healed.
Being. That horrible noise. I can hardly suppress my bloodlust when it sounds.
Alright, Mighty.
This battle cry must have gone to Fainon. That's why he lost himself. What a useless fool.
Why so solemn?
It's nothing. Let's go. That voice... is Cartonis?
How could you tell from a...
Not you too, Cartonis.
Oh, these are all... I was gonna say, these might all be people from, like, Mighty's past that he's having to, like, experience their death. Can you go to team lineup, please? Fucking team lineup! How is this game nearly 2 years old and they still haven't fixed that? How is Genshin, like, gonna be 5 this year and that hasn't fucking fixed it? Why is this a problem in Hoyoverse's games that they just refuse to fucking fix? Why is it only Zenless that doesn't have the problem? A sharp bronze spear has torn through the tendons in her arm, leaving it hanging lifelessly like a shattered wine jug abandoned by the roadside. As the soul ebbed away, darkness veiled her eyes. Hey, can you tell, like... yes, I've heard about Hoyo Live. Not to be confused with Holo Live.
Please accept my offering, Nikador!
The person is consumed by a frenzy of slaughter, oblivious to your presence.
Mighty Most you are.
Realistically, their VTubers should have, like, phenomenal fucking designs, because, like, Hoyoverse's character designs are always on point. Like, in theory, you know, like, it should really take off. The only trouble is that, most people who are, like, super into VTubers end up with, like, a very, very primitive, basic understanding of Japanese. Because of how Japanese dominant VTubing is, even still to this day. It's getting better at being more global, but you know what I mean. It's gonna be a whole different kettle of fish because, hey, you know, Hoyoverse, Chinese. I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure if people are gonna find it as easy. I'm just some British idiot, but even as this British idiot, I can tell you, Chinese feels a lot harder to try and even figure out anything of the language without dedicated tutorials and help compared to Japanese. Like, Japanese, before I even started learning, I felt like I kind of vaguely had an idea of some things. Not much, obviously, because if you don't study the language, you're never going to learn. But with Chinese, it's like that, I think, is going to throw people off. There's going to be a lot of people who just kind of won't bother, which will be a shame, because I'm sure there'll be fantastic people who genuinely care for the craft and, you know, want to do good things and, like, you know, all that. But you know what I mean? I fear it won't be as successful because people won't give it a chance, is what I'm getting at. But so I do glad, I nearly said, Jesus Christ. I am glad that it is expanding a lot more. Like, honestly, some of my favorite VTubers, they aren't even, like, English, they're Indonesian. Like, I always talk about Crazy Ollie. I think Ollie is a laugh. I think she is brilliant. And she's also super fucking talented because she's fluent in 3 languages. And I'm like, that's just fucking cracked. Like, what do you mean she's Indonesian, English, and Japanese? But she was, like, you know, born and raised in Indonesia. But she's genuinely just hilarious. Still my favorite thing is watching the fucking Kiana, like, music video, and just looking dead at the camera and just goes, I'm gay. I like women. It's like, yes, we know, Ollie. But another one, another Indonesian one I'm really loving is Michi. Michi is fucking fantastic. I learned of Michi through her collab with Ray, because, you know, I always watch Ray Nevaez Jr., so when he collabed with her, I became aware, and I just think Michi's hilarious. She's a little fucking gremlin, but she does think she's hilarious. My favourite bit is that she said maybe one day she'll open up an OnlyFans, but on the OnlyFans, she just posts, like, the same picture of a glass of orange juice, and, like, the OnlyFans page will be, like, huge juices. And to see how many people she'll get them to, like, buy it just to get orange juice, because it's huge juices. I was just like, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah. And it was like, because she collabed with both Valkyrie and Ray Nevaez Jr., like, in the same collab. And the way she differentiated them is that she referred to Ray as Ray from Twitch and Valkyrie as Ray from YouTube. So she'd go, so, Ray from Twitch. And obviously with, like, I do watch some English ones. Not as many as I used to. There's a lot of English ones. It's not like I tired out or anything like that. It's just I didn't have the time for all of them. So I ended up kind of, like, lowering my count a lot. Like, I was like, am I really, like, that invested in this YouTuber? Not really. So I, like, came away. Am I really watching this one? Not really. So I came away. Like, there's still a few I keep with. I used to be, like, super into Amelia Watson. But obviously she graduated, so now I watch Doobie 3D because that's the same woman. And I also used to watch Fauna. You might be noticing a pattern here. She fucking graduated, but she came back. Globalization into homogenization. I mean, ultimately, it's an industry and it's a business and it's a gimmick like that people can do for content. It's never going to be that kind of a thing. Like, you know, it's never going to be neither, like, global phenomenon that's still individual, but equally it's never going to be not somewhat homogenized. It's just like any content creation. There's a million people playing games and streaming them doing it. I'm just one of them. Has it lost a bit of its identity in the challenge of doing live streams and Let's Plays? Yeah, quite a bit, but equally people are making money off of it, so just find your favorite creators and stick with them. If you think modern Western comics suck, you're just reading the wrong ones, my dude. Like, the New 52, I know they're not exactly new anymore, but the New 52 of DC was fucking fantastic. The IDW comic, literally anything IDW do is really fucking good. What else? There's another one that's on the tip of my tongue. Heck, even Marvel comics aren't that bad. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, but even, like, modern Marvel comics are pretty fun. I mostly read IDW now, though, but to be fair, like, the IDW comics, I think they're fantastic. Regardless of what franchise they get a hold of, they just do it and they have fun. But yeah, like, now I'm on the topic of VTubers, though, but it's like with my English ones, like, Kiana, I always keep coming back to her. Every time, like, man, I don't really watch much of her content. Like, I really should, like, just go, like, do more with my time. And then I come away, and then something happens, and I'm straight back. Because I think Kiana, I just adore that fucking chicken. I just adore that fucking Phoenix. Like, she's such an adorable human being. And I don't mean as just like, oh, cutesy. I mean as in, like, she's got such a good spirit. It's the easiest way to put it. She's got such a good, fun, happy spirit that just kind of endears me. Amelie, or Monarch, is always great because she's such a fucking scuff queen. And I can say that because she's kind of honoured it as time's gone. She's kind of just accepted it as a part of her identity. Sino, or Alejandro, is always great. I don't watch his stuff that much, but he's always great. Joel is fucking hilarious. The porcelain doll. Joel is always fucking great content. He's someone I'll just put on in the background, and then every other minute I'll hear him start shouting about something, and I'm like, what happened now? Like, I don't get how a dude can be that pretty yet that angry all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's the most, like, effeminate, like, beautiful fucking, like, VTuber model I've ever seen. Yet what comes out of him is pure profanity at fucking everything. And I'm just like, hell yeah, dude. Oh, even though I'm not the biggest sports person, I do watch AKA Scarlet a fair bit. Because she's so dedicated and so in love with sports that, like, it's an easy, like, 2-hit combo where I get fun VTuber content and I get to be able to, like, have a conversation with some of the members of my family when I go to family dinners and whatnot, because I vaguely know what they're talking about. If that makes sense. Like, I don't watch baseball. About half my fucking family do, though. Because even in the UK, baseball's still pretty popular. Like, we don't, like, care about the Super Bowl that much, but we'll still fucking watch it, you know? And so being able to be like, oh, yeah, the Mets, hey? Yeah, they're fucking... Oh, yeah, who knows? Maybe they were actually, you know, win a fucking game for once in their life this season. And it's like, oh, no, they didn't? Shit. Oh, they made the qualifier and immediately died? Cool. Like, you know, I can vaguely pretend I know, and I can just lean on AK Scarlet for it. Who else? I'm trying to think, who else do I really watch? Even at least a little bit. Like, they're, like, some of the main ones I watch. For those who, like, who's been on the channel a while, yeah, that might seem to be like, hey, outside of Ollie, all the rest have changed. It's like, yeah. Fuck the Mets, I'm a Red Sox guy. Oh, fair enough, dude. I've never seen, like... It's funny, I know so many people that are Mets fans, and every single time I meet them, I just go, have you ever taken a dub? And they go, like, not in 20 years. I'm like, what the fuck, why? Like, I appreciate the dedication to your team, but, like, was the last time they won when you were, like, 6 years old? Was the last time when they won, was there still a war going on? Was it still the Cold War? 'Cause I was starting to think it was.
Destroyed all the wicked king. Here to take my life, finally.
I won't ask how this happened, nor will I hurt you like you said.
Nah, bro, it was World War II.
I just need you to tell me where Fainon is.
All of this, you know very well. Leave our city, cursed son of Gorgo!
I have no intention of hurting you, Cartonus.
Humiliate me, you shall not! Leave! Get out of Okima! Get out! Symbol of your sovereignty, take it! Signet of Kremnos, bask in blood-soaked glory, your kind alone!
This is... Mother's signet?
Oh, hey, yeah, this fucking Realm of Strife is pretty effective at immediately just fucking everyone, huh?
It's here again. I knew it.
Ha! Finally gone mad, despicable vermin have. With your mad king, perish together in that maelstrom of battle!
Enough! Be quiet! You were not at all, Cartonus. Look out!
A long, narrow shadow pierces through the phantom of Cartonus. Oh, for the record, the devs have acknowledged they know that it's kind of annoying how many black screens with white text are in the current story. So I wouldn't be surprised if that changes, but obviously this is only a few weeks after that acknowledgement, so I wasn't expecting it to be suddenly all gone now, because that's a lot of extra potential animation work to have to suddenly do in very short notice. You two? Are you the real Dunhung? I could ask you the same. What was the last thing you said to me before I parted the waters at the Scale Gorge waterscape?
Parted the waters?
How would I even remember that? Oh, just forget it. Just kill me, alright? That sounds like something the real you would say. It wasn't easy, but I finally found you two. Yeah, I don't fucking remember.
So, you are Don Hung. What did you go through before meeting us?
Just some memories from my past. Nothing worth mentioning.
You mean you saw your past too? The trial of strife is a vicious one, all right.
What are you thinking?
This might not be a single person's trial, but an arena for every challenger to engage their own delusions in a bloody battle. I saw someone from my past a while ago. Someone Finon has never met.
Doesn't exactly sound like a bad thing. At least it means we'll be able to find Finon here.
We can only hope this battlefield is nowhere as extensive as I imagine it to be.
I wonder when we're going to get back to what's going on with March 7th. For those who don't recall, the last time we saw March 7th, she was slowly but surely starting to cocoon into Phase 6 ice.
Let's first follow the sounds of battle to their source.
And Black Swan is like hella fucking suspicious about the whole thing.
The battle cries seem to be getting a lot louder.
Someone is manipulating this battlefield. Someone who might not be Finon.
I agree.
Curse it.
Just as I thought. This is where the battle cries were coming from. The true entrance to Nikidor's trial.
What's wrong with you two? I've met that warrior before. It's Nasus, an incarnation of Nikidor.
I'm seeing him for the first time, but there's no doubt about it. What I'm sensing can only be Strife's bloodlust. The one manipulating this battlefield is Nikidor themselves.
My demise. You are a keen warrior indeed.
You know me?
The blasphemous prince. Of course I know you. And I happen to know that you're here for the soul of that white-haired warrior.
Great. Let's cut to the chase then. Hand over that poor excuse for a sword master, so we can be done with this farce.
No.
No! What the fuck? Yeah, well, it's time to get ready then.
Courage and strength for coming this far, but you have chosen to besmirch the dignity of one who has fallen, and I cannot turn a blind eye to that.
It's gonna be one fierce battle we won't be able to get out of. One who has fallen. Finon failed the trial.
He faced the greatest fear in the depths of his heart, and fought with exceptional valor, though he eventually succumbed to the brutal onslaughts. I have since brought him to the rear battleground, and granted him glory worthy of his courage, tenacity, and sacrifice. You wish to take him away? Sure. Pick up
Oh, so he passed. The problem is he passed well enough that you're keeping him here.
Of course. Cowards who hope to avoid bloodshed are better off disappearing from my sight this instant.
Your opinions are of no interest to me, Mad King. If it's a fight you're looking for, then you will get one, Titan. I will put you to rest once more with my curse of immortality.
Oh yeah, we should talk about Mighty's special gimmick. This motherfucker kinda can't die.
Your noble mother displayed the same spirit with a spear in her hands.
I imagine after so many times he will, but he kind of has a self-res.
Don't you dare speak of her.
Why not? She challenged the former Kremnos king to a duel, even knowing that it was a deadly trap, all to protect your dignity. Are you suggesting her efforts were for naught?
Her death was caused by you, the incarnation of strife. How dare you talk about her past? Enough of this nonsense. You should be wielding your weapon at the god of strife. Battle me and put a swift end to this!
Your hatred is as clear as day, my Demos. My words must have stung you deeply. But thanks to them, I have also come to realize. This is why you killed your father for the throne. Only to let your signet sink to the bottom of the Sea of Souls, refusing to let the glory of Kremnos live on. This is why you slew the Strife Titan, only to reject the core flame, letting strife continue instead. O child abandoned by fate, show me what you are capable of. Show me if you have the power to put out the flames of your very own destiny.
I will rip your chest apart, Titan. The same way I ripped apart that former king.
I see you wish to repeat this. Come at me then. Ignite the flames of your fears and step onto the battlefield. Take this fierce battle to the boundaries of strife and consume me. Or lose yourself in the fight and watch your defeated corpse burn to ash. But remember this. The son of Gorgo will be crowned in blood. The very moment I just moment of ascension. To you, the successor of Kremnos. White warrior knew he was no match, yet he chose to fight till his very last breath. What about you, Maidamos? Can your murderous intent match up to what fate has in store for you? Prove to me that you are worthy of this power!
Burn it all! Mournful cries. Miserable wails. Kings of Kremnos, this is the power you desired? Miracles. Through my blood. Forever do.
I can do this!
Dying soul, face me.
Alright, let's see this ult.
I allow you to accept your punishment.
Damn.
Free will, or was it
much better?
still waters of oblivion?
Burn it all.
Oh, he's in like berserk mode. I can't control him anymore.
I grant you the blood of strife.
This raging power, I can hardly contain it.
Hey, contain it, will you? Look, yeah, I don't get any choice in the matter. He just fucking does what he wants. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now accept your punishment. Stay put. Get there.
Tonight, Stars Echo.
But not this, literally. Yeah, right? Okay, so yeah, when he's on low health, he goes into this crazy berserk mode, and you literally don't get a say in what he does.
Destined for oblivion.
But he just jumps in and attacks. How many waves have we got? Oh, we still got another wave after this.
Burn it all. In fear you shall abandon your mortal body, King of Kremnos.
How noisy. Burn it all. I can't die, but thanks.
The way this, I think the way the Berserk mode works is that it keeps on going until he dies. But when he dies, he then resurrects because, you know, he's immortal, and the Berserk wears off.
Hasten. We've hardly any time left to say farewell.
It shouldn't be harmony. He isn't. He's destruction. He's imaginary destruction. When losing HP, accumulate charge. When charge hits 100, enter the Vendetta state. Restore HP in advance action. During Vendetta, max HP increases and defense remains at 0. At the start of the unit's turn, he automatically uses Kingslayer Be King. When the charge reaches 150 during Vendetta, he immediately gains an extra turn and goes into Godslayer Be God. When Mighty receives a killing blow, he will just exit the state. So yeah, he keeps up the state until he dies, and then once he's dead, he then comes back. So the only way to actually, like, be downed as him is to not be in his Berserk state when he gets put down. Also, Death are Legion, Regrets are None, Kingslayer Be King, Godslayer Be God. Alright, Midamus, I fucking see you. Throne of Bones, Cage of Broken Lance, Blood for Blood. Like, I see you with your fucking attack names. Yeah, no matter all, yeah. So yeah, when he loses health, he builds up charge. When he hits 100 charge, he goes into Berserk state. During the Berserk state, he can't fucking die, but his defense is 0 and you can't control him. When his health hits 0, he exits the state and just comes back.
Dying soul, now accept your punishment.
I weep for the departed.
So fucking broken. And he's a destruction unit, so he's built around general damage. Oh shit, Finon!
Found you.
Sometime later.
I did my best.
The Core Flame trial is indeed no place for the weak. Let's just hope that Finon gets through this.
There's no need to worry. His soul is in a stable condition. With ample
Fei Shao, Mighty, Acheron, and Sparkle. Ugh. Yeah, that would be... You know what the trouble is, though? That is the epitome of a glass cannon team. Because who the fuck's healing the other three? Like, Mighty can self-sustain as long as he has enough time to build up the points to go into his Berserk state. But if the whole fucking team's dead, everyone's ganging up on him before he has the chance. Like, you'd have to give up one of those slots for a healer. And specifically a healer, because if you get a preservation unit and shield him, I don't know if that would count towards his charges, because it specified saying losing HP, and shield doesn't count as HP, it's shield. So it would have to be an actual, like, abundance character and not a preservation unit. With Sparks, if we don't need it. I mean, Sparks can push turns ahead, sure. Your best bet, honestly, is probably Lingsha, because she's the healer with a gun. Just have Lingsha in place of Sparkle. Because she can still build up damage and build up everything so you can keep your rush team, but at the same time, her damage directly translates into healing. Hence the whole medic with a gun joke that everyone makes about her.
The greatest fear in the depths
And then
of
your
his
team
heart.
could still be a rush team, but if that rush doesn't
Lord
work, you're not
Paimon
immediately
must have been
fucked.
forced to relive his past during the trial, and revisit his homeland that had fallen to the Black Tide.
In all likelihood.
You sound tired, Mighty. Black Tide really that scary. It's only normal to be unable to overcome your inner demons. I think Nasus mentioned it before.
That is correct. He was willing to entrust the core flame to the Chrysosayers, because he was also pinning his hopes on us, to succeed him in shouldering the responsibility of resisting the Black Tide.
Can you tell us more about this Black Tide?
It is one of the culprits that drives the people of Amphoreus to madness. It was during the Era Bellica that this unspeakable thing first appeared, like a plague, alongside the three titans of calamity.
Death, strife, and trickery.
Nobody knows where it came from or how it came to be.
Other than it's probably going to be the final boss of Amphoreus,
Is that it
with
is
how
steadily
ominously they're talking
encroaching
about it.
upon what little remains of this tranquil land. Much like a rising sea closing in.
Oh,
on
speaking of
island
final bosses,
from all sides.
the final boss of
It is
playing
for
a
this very
classic Final
reason that it
Fantasy game,
became
Final
known as the
Fantasy
Black
V,
Tide.
I have decided I am going to cover it, and I'm going to cut, like, as in, like, soon. It will take me probably a few more streams, because, you know, 4, 5, and 6 are slightly longer than 1, 2, and 3 are, so it probably won't be, like, 2 or 3 streams and then done like it was with those games. But I think it will be good fun. And also, I will take on both super bosses. Because Final Fantasy V was the Final Fantasy to introduce super bosses. Optional, like, and I mean genuinely, not, you know, the fucking war mech in Final Fantasy 1, where it's just, like, a secret, like, 0.5% chance encounter in, like, one of the last dungeons. And if you encounter it, it's just really strong. I mean, like, no, a proper super boss. And 5 was the one that, because, you know, 5 is already the hardest, so of course it also introduced super bosses on top of it to really test you. With the Omega weapon and Shinryu. I have no idea how it's going to go down, because full disclaimer, I've only ever beat both of them once. I always skip Omega and Shinryu anytime I revisit 5, because they are so fucking hard. They are so fucking hard that it drains my soul. There is nothing more soul-crushing than being like 10 minutes into the fight with Omega and he just feeling like doing particle beam twice and the fight's fucking over and you're like, I want to scream. Or like trying to fight Shinryu and that motherfucker just countering you and doing like 10,000 damage and you're just like, cool, thanks. And you have to be like really quick on your feet on roll because, you know, it's back in ATB combat, which means it's not strict turn-based, it's things keep moving, you need to have your fucking turn or you'll lose it. So you can't sit and be like, fuck, what do I do now? Because the next Shinryu blast is coming. The next Omega is going to beam you to death is coming. You need to move, you need to do something. But it's what makes it so fun.
Those who succumb to it lose their reason.
And it's also like after 5 going to be the last time for a good while I cover a Final Fantasy game with ATB. Because the next time I return to Final Fantasy after 5, it's not going to be 7, 8, or 9 because I'm not that
Titans cannot escape from it.
interested in doing 7, 8, or 9 yet. 7 because it has recording blocks, which is like fucking stupid on PS4, so I kind of can't anyway. 8 because that game is kind of grindy, and 9 because that game is so fucking slow. 9's great once it gets going, but Jesus Christ. And it's like, I'm not up for that yet. So it'll either be 10, 12, or I'm even debating maybe 15. One of those ones. But I'm undecided yet. I might even make it a poll later to the time. Like, closer to the time, whether I do 10, 12, or 15. Or heck, maybe if they announce that they're doing literally anything with 13, maybe I'll do 13. Because I genuinely like 13. I know it's like the one that everyone hates, but I like 13.
According to Naius, Nikador.
It's not as good as
though one of
13-2,
the
not by a long
embodiments
shot, but I
of
still like it.
calamity, also bears the responsibility of fending off the Black Tide. Perhaps that is also why Lord Finon threw himself into the trial of strife so readily.
Castoris, why is it sometimes, depending on the camera angle, you just don't have a nose?
But now, we must look for alternative means of igniting the flames of strife.
So, Aglaya.
I get that it's just that her nose is super fucking small. So, like, when she's looking at you dead on, the, you know, the art style kind of hides it. But at the same time, it's like, Jesus Christ.
You know very well the decision doesn't lie with me. As the successor to Krymnos, Mighty, you know better than anyone that if it was simply about emerging triumphant on the battlefield of strife, you and your people could manage it with ease. But ultimately, the heavy burden of divinity can only be borne by one. It is foolhardiness and indecision, not the unclaimed seat of divinity, that pushes this world into the deathly fog.
Sing, O goddess of his rage. But yeah, Lingsha would probably be the person you'd want if you want to go like super crazy raw rush damage team, just because she can she can attack enemies and heal. And she's also permanent smug mode, so of course you want this on your team.
Incense ascends, entwined with ethereal clouds.
I would, but I don't have her. Well, clearly have her, but you know what I don't fucking have? Her light cone. I tried so hard. I can't stress enough. I tried so hard to get her light cone as well. I think I'm genuinely like 60 or so deep into her, into the weapon banner, and I just don't have it. Also, a new feature. For those who don't know, new feature for this update. You can now see exactly what you need for each character. And additionally, you can also check for characters that are in the current warps, so you can see ahead of time, if you're going to get Tribby, you can see what her materials are, you can see what her trace materials are, and you can see what they recommend you get for relic loadouts. You can do the same with Yunli. And Mighty, you can preview, so you can pre-grind for him if you're planning on getting him. See, this character is not yet owned. You can obtain building materials and relics in advance. And you can also, you can see in the top right, set as build target, you can pin it. So the game will have natural notifications for when things are available, what you should be going for, where to go, etc. This is a fantastic quality of life that they've added. So you can see, hey, you need the Harbinger of Strife. You need to go fucking fight the Facial optional boss a few times. And weekly bosses, even if you haven't done the story, you can fight them through an early access feature. So you can still grind for, Mighty, for example, even if you haven't done the story stuff to catch up to it. You're not locked out of building them. And you can see what the sets are. They recommend a full set of 4 of Scholar Lost in Erudition, which increases damage dealt by skill and ultimates by 20%, and after using an ult, additionally increased damage dealt by skill by next 25%. And the Bone Collection Serene Demonins. Increase the wearer's max HP by 12% when it's 5k or higher. Increase the wearer and their Memra Sprite's critical damage by 28%. He doesn't have a Memra Sprite because he's not Remembrance, but boost his health and get crit damage out of it would be helpful for him. And then you can see what level materials are, and you can just click either of these to just go fucking get it. The same with this, you can just click any of these to go get what you need to go get. Like, it's very easy now to just go get what you need for any respective character. But yeah, I got cucked. I didn't get her light cone, annoyingly, so I just took Bailu's for now. Bailu could have it back next time Lingsha reruns for me to get the light cone. An unspeakable thing of unknown origin. What comes to your mind when we put those keywords together? A Stellaron? That's right. If you think about the various characteristics of Amphoreus, an isolated world of eternal night being eroded by an unknown power, we can't discount this possibility. That has been bothering me for a while now. Everything we have seen thus far suggests that Amphoreus wasn't always isolated from the rest of the universe. Be it the birth of the Titans or the encroaching black tide, none of these can be explained as a natural progression of a civilization. There must be other reasons for its current state of isolation. It's just, if the cancer of all worlds is truly the culprit, then we should have observed certain phenomena, explicit or otherwise, by now. But that isn't the case. They need an official dub of Robu dub. It's more than sufficient. Well, thank you. I think it's such a shame that this is the most Dunhung's got to talk fucking ever, and it's during the strikes, so he's not voiced. And I was like, fuck, man. The voice of the Stellaron? That's what I was thinking too. From past experience, the Stellaron within you should be able to resonate with other Stellarons, but we haven't encountered anything like that here. There are several other unanswered questions too. My gut feeling is that things here are not as simple as they seem. Gee, you fucking think? Furthermore, what happened in Penacony also proves that the appearance of a world may not necessarily be due to the influence of only just one path. No sweat, the Trailblazers can tackle even 10 paths if I must. Could be an all-star cast. Who knows, maybe Akavilli's behind it all. Not even a history fictionalist would dare spin a tale like that. Well, I had to try. For now, let's just take things as they come. The Black Tide could be a good starting point. Since Nikador has fallen, those who are suppressed by them will no doubt begin to counterattack now. Yeah, you will like it, yeah. You know what will happen? The strike will finally conclude just as we finish Amphoreus in like 10 months' time. I hope the strike doesn't take that long. I hope these corporations shift their fucking tune sooner rather than later. But it would be kind of annoyingly comical if it's like just as we leave and Dunhung goes into the background again that he suddenly gets a voice back. Switching to Mighty's POV. At the same time, on the other side of the Memorial Palace.
Don't worry, Dee. This isn't the first time he's been like this. A long time ago?
I'm not worrying about him.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, alright, if you say so. My gaydar was going off like fucking crazy though, Mighty, so I just thought maybe... Never mind.
I'm sorry. That was rude of me. What I meant was, I know that man can pull through for sure.
It's alright. Being straightforward suits you better. Actually, Dee, there's something we're curious about. What did you see in Nikador's trial?
Something that terrifies me. Isn't that ironic? There shouldn't even be a word for fear in the Kremnoan language.
Do you think you stand a chance against that thing that terrifies
God, Trivia is so fucking tiny. Trebius, why did you split your soul into 1,000 pieces? I know why she did it, to try and protect the world by being able to be everywhere. But at the same time, it's like, man, Trebius is so beautiful, and you separate it into like a million fucking redhead kids. And what's also kind of depressing is the fact that there's like, I think it was 1,000. There's only 3 left. What happened to the other 997? I can take a wild guess in a world stricken with war. But it's also why Tribi and Trion all refer to themselves as we. It's because they are all the same person. It's just like divided soul, basically.
What do you mean?
Aglaya knew that Fainon might fall, and she expected me to take his place. That was the plan all along, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, we've learned that Aglaya has her own plans a little bit. She's trying to set things up to basically make it foolproof.
Like you know everything.
And she thinks that, she probably believes that Fainon might not be the best answer. She probably feels that Mighty would be the better answer to him to be that, to have the core flame of strife.
I have no intention of condemning you for it. The Flame Chase journey is not a game, and I have long understood this. With the downfall of strife, and the ever-growing threat that the Black Tide poses, if Circes and Ornyx are also impacted, ramifications will be dire.
Reason and time for Circes and Ornyx.
They are the only 2 Titans who are still lucid and willing to coexist with humanity.
I mean, willing is a bit of a stretch with Ornyx. We tried to talk to Ornyx, and Ornyx basically told us to piss off. But sure.
Regrettably, I do not hold the key to completing the trial. If I wish to conquer that fear, I need the assistance of my fellow Kremnoans. Give me some time to speak with my people. It won't take long, I promise.
Ah, I see. There is strength in numbers, but you must know that the trial to become a demigod is ultimately meant for only one individual. Lee, your people. They have been eagerly awaiting a new king all this time, haven't they? If you take on the divine role, they will have no reservations about following your lead. After all, you're the hero of Castrum Kremnos.
I once was. But Lady Trebios, therein lies my deepest fear. We'll talk again later. I'll be back.
Dee? Regardless of what happens, we will always be there for you.
Thank you. The person I'm looking for is probably in the hot bath. I should go take a look. The billowing steam always brings back memories of the furnaces in our homeland.
Who am I feeling? Sparks. Rapper Lingsha. So it is the trouble that I've got so many characters built now that I get to kind of pick and choose a little bit. I'm like, oh, who am I feeling today? Also, I think this patch, another thing I'm interested about this patch is how long this one is for the story. Because obviously, the first patch is going to be bigger because it's introducing the whole new world. However, once again, this story is 8 fucking patches long, and this is only patch 2. The length of this will give us a good indication of what 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably 7 will be like in length. I imagine the next super long one will be, you know, the fucking last one, and maybe one in the middle.
Unattended by their parents? That's not safe.
Alright, Mighty being a good parent. Good children without their parents? That's not safe.
You shouldn't run around in here, kids.
Hey, it's the Crown Prince! Are you also here for a bath?
I want to hear stories about your feats on the battlefield.
Uh-oh.
The Crown Prince. Are you Kremnoans?
Yeah, we are! The grown-ups said we used to live next to the arena. Well, next to the parts next to it anyway. My dad is a centurion with the Hydra Lancers, and my mom is the bravest warrior in the God Shield Brigade. We used to get tons of silver coins from Mr. Krateros.
My parents are serving in the Holy City Garrison now. As warriors of Kremnos, they're braver than any Archiman.
Why are you kids here alone? Where are the grown-ups?
Mom and Dad were asleep, so we snuck out to play hide and seek with Mr. Krateros.
That old man can be such a child sometimes. Do you know where Krateros is? I happen to be looking for him.
Sorry, I don't. Come to think of it,
It's cute that Mr. Edgy McEdgelord clearly has a little bit of a soft spot for the kids, making sure they're alright.
No way! Mr. Krateros is a member of the Royal Wing Elites. He's the best at hunting down enemies. He was counting near Verax Leo when we went to hide.
It's like how Shadow the Hedgehog has a soft spot for Latinas. It's like, it's just a nice little character quirk. Sorry.
It was prudent of you to be cautious.
I can't believe they fucking made that canon. That stupid joke of I just love Latinas, Sonic. And they made it fucking canon in the Sonic 3 movie. And they even talked about it in like interviews. Like, yeah, that whole scene where like Shadow's like watching over the shoulder, watching the like the drama film of the love triangle, and Shadow saying that the woman should just ditch both the men because they're trying to treat her like a game. That made that joke 110% because of the I love Latinas joke, and that's why she's also a Latina woman. That it's just like fucking. I was just like, I'm so glad that they're that like the movie team are that committed to like the bit that they squeeze that in there. Like from having Sonic in Sonic 1 to having and although admittedly vague and not as questionably racist as the Ugandan Knuckles meme in 2, they definitely reference a few things of knowing the way during it. And now in 3, having like making Shadow canonically like Latinas, it's like fucking. Can't wait for Sonic 4 to just have Metal Sonic go. Oh yeah, spoilers. Metal Sonic's gonna be in Sonic 4. I think everyone knows that by now.
Consider the game over and head home for now. And don't play around the hot baths again.
Wait, Your Highness!
Is there something else?
I heard you retrieved Nicodor's core flame.
Is that serious?
Does that mean...
I mean, no, but equally, I can see why it kind of got shut down eventually, and because it is a little problematic. There was a few too many not so kind implications towards Ugandan people using that meme as its template to do so, and it's like, yeah, no, I get it. I know when it first started, it wasn't meant with malice, but, you know, you can't trust the internet with anything. Especially when it involves a group of people that they can now use as an excuse to punch down on.
Have you ever been to Castrum Kremnos? You were all born in the Holy City, and are living lives no different from the Archimans. Everything you know about our people comes only from the tales of others. You have never even witnessed the blade in the sky with your own eyes. How, then, is a city you've never seen your home?
That's true, absolutely true. The internet so much. Yeah, it is what it is.
This place is definitely not home. Mom and Dad told me that the children of Kremnos are born to wield swords and fight on the battlefield.
They also said that the Kremnoan detachment led by the Crown Prince is the bravest army across all of Amphoreus. No one can defeat them. The kids in the Holy City don't play with us. The moment they find out that our parents are Kremnoans, they shun us.
Oh, speaking of racism, there seems to be a bit of a racism problem in Amphoreus. Ew, the Kremnoans.
We don't care. We all know that the Crown Prince will take us home.
No, that is just lingering resentments from Arkama and Kremnoas' conflicts. That's probably been installed into them from their parents.
But
like any hatred.
Young men of Kremnos, heed my command. Return to your parents at once. From here on, you are to dedicate yourselves to rigorous training and a healthy diet. You must not neglect these two aspects if you are to become a brave warrior of Kremnos. Only by following this path can you be deemed worthy of returning home.
Oh, Mighty. See, Mighty, you're sweetening me to you because you genuinely got a soft spot.
Yes, Your Highness.
He's given something to inspire the kids.
I should find Kratos.
Alright, let's... Okay, is this on the other side of the load screen, or is that him there, the guy in red?
There he is. Is he engaged in a debate with that fool?
Foolish lion.
Oh, it's the Crown Prince of Castrum Kremnos.
Get a grip. We're here by order of the Council of Elders.
Oh, and here comes the rain.
Heirs have to
No, you guys can't hear it, but IRL is the weather said it's going to rain all day today, and it's like when I woke up this morning, it wasn't raining, and I was like, I thought the weather said it's going to rain all day, and I can just hear it coming in now.
Out of my way, lackeys of the Council.
The Civil Guard of Akama is on official duty. Please keep out of this area.
Calm down, my lord. Play nice.
Don't make me repeat myself.
I'll allow you to pass this time. But just
Fucking
this once.
Pair of losers.
So, you think yourself knowledgeable? Then here is a question for you. Do you know how Chrysius Leo in Castrum Kremnos came to be mounted on the wall?
I know that fucking voice.
I don't know, my lord.
Oh, who is he?
How did it come to be? Let me enlighten you. A long time ago, the founder of Castrum Kremnos led a group of warriors to hunt down a lion.
Oh god, who is this?
Outskirts of the city of Tritos. That vicious beast had been a menace for years, and the bones in its den were stacked even higher than the peaks around Akama. But do you know what happened? Nary a moment had passed after the beast's head peeked out of its den.
Oh, what do I recognize you from?
Warriors surged forward and brought it down within the blink of an eye, shattering its knees with a single strike. And then... why are you red-faced already? We haven't even gotten to the best part yet. It's your storytelling, my lord. You're weaving such a captivating tale that it got my blood pumping. Please, go on. Well, if it is...
Damn, I tried googling it, but I guess because the patch only dropped today, there's no answers.
Oh, what in Akama is happening? To what do I owe the pleasure, son of Gorgo?
Kratos. My esteemed teacher.
Let's talk somewhere else, Mighty Mos. I'm tired of speaking with this silly lion.
Oh, well, that guy's a little older than I thought he'd be. Well, he did say he was old, but still.
What about the Council's informants?
Those two hyenas are nothing but scavengers of rotten meat.
Oh, get fucked.
They couldn't bite even if they tried. They can follow us if they want to. Let's go. Wait, so how in the world did Chrysius Leo get mounted on the wall? Keep up with us, you hyena. Oh, sorry. I meant officers.
Hey, old man, how dare you?
Oh, like they give a shit.
Calm down. Calm down.
Oh, you gotta wait for the load screen. Yep.
Don't fall behind now. Unless you want to upset our friends here.
Gotta wait for the load screen.
Don't you dare try any tricks with us.
There it is. And I know it's a load screen. I mean, I gathered, like, the moment we saw one of them, because this area's huge, and you could still see things were rendering in when it loaded. And it's entirely because I've seen people playing on low-end PCs get to those doors and end up standing there for like 40 fucking seconds before it opens. And I'm like, gee, do you think it's loading?
This is a nice spot for a private chat.
Shall we, sir?
Let's do it.
They're just gonna knock those two out, aren't they?
What are you up to?
Someone help me!
Some privacy.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of them, like, immediately was just like, look, we can let them follow, we'll just fucking knock them out when we get to our point.
So, Tell me, why have you come to seek this old man's counsel?
I came to discuss the future of the Kremnoans.
Interesting. I heard the core flame of the Lance of Fury has been restored, though not by your hand. And you're even considering giving up Nikador's divine power. Is this true?
Those rumors are not entirely groundless.
In other words, you did entertain the thought of giving up the throne of Kremnos and forsaking your people.
The divine power is not equivalent to the throne. The path of strife is also not our people's only way.
Enough with the word games. You, of all people, should understand the plight of the Kremnoans. Think about all the warriors of the Kremnoan detachment who left their homeland with you. Think about their children. Only the yearning for our former glory days has kept us going all this time. If they ever learn that the Crown Prince they look up to so much is actually toying with the notion of stepping down, think of the disgrace it would bring upon your departed mother, Martimos. You best remember that she died for you because of Europon's schemes, to restore the glory of Kremnos.
Since you've brought that up, tell me, who is responsible for my father's death?
Are you trying to shame me, Martimos? I may be old, but I haven't become so decrepit that I've forgotten it all. Of course I remember that Europon died when the Kremnoan detachment surrounded him. You drove the spear into his chest with your very own hands.
That was merely the final outcome. Do you still not see it? What led my parents and our people to their downfall is none other than the strife we speak of. The quest for glory. The tenet of valorous death before glorious return. This is the creed of every Kremnoan, no matter whether these beliefs are justified or not.
Don't be ridiculous. The only thing that could slay a king is a spear. Even an infant knows that much. I swore to your mother that I would guard your crown with my life. I never foresaw that the son of Gorgo himself would be the first to turn his back on the Kremnoan spirit. Gorgo. Your mother bore that name. The name of the great founder of Castrum Kremnos. And she upheld that name with honor. If you choose to turn your back on her legacy, like a wretched deserter, do not fault me for withholding my loyalty, Martimos.
I came to discuss the future of our people with you. But it appears this is not the right time yet.
Go, mighty. Ha! That's what those Chrysos heirs call you, isn't it? Go down the path you have deemed correct. Deep down, you have always been one to do as you please. And I am well aware that no one can deter you once you've made up your mind. But don't you ever dream of renouncing the traditions of Kremnos. We may reside in Akama now, but we remain eternally bound to strife by blood.
Bloodlines no longer hold any significance in this era of destruction.
My young lord, always bear this in mind. Never reveal your vulnerabilities to anyone. A lion should never dwell amidst its prey, especially when it wields power enough to dominate the entire hunting ground.
Europon, the boy did nothing wrong! This is murder! Do not sully the noble name of Kremnos with the blood of an innocent child. You mustn't reveal your weaknesses to the enemy.
Enough! My decision is final. We must use this child's life to preserve the soul of the great Nikador. We must save Castrum Kremnos.
Don't be absurd! Those tiny hands lack the strength to even lift a spear. Do you truly believe him a threat to Castrum Kremnos? You'll be ending the bloodline of Kremnos if you do this. Our millennia-old glory will become nothing more than a joke.
Have you forgotten that we Kremnoans place no value in bloodlines? It is through pure bloodshed and slaughter that the kings of Kremnos have ascended to the throne. As for our millennia-old glory, it has always been a joke in my eyes. Glorify it all you want, but it will not alter the nature of slaughter. Those who revel in it are but murderers. They are no more noble than the most monstrous beasts in Amphoreus.
Enough with your words! Among all the kings of Kremnos, which one did not inherit the crown only after plucking it from the lifeless body of his father? But listen to yourself now. Do you truly believe you can cleanse the blood from your hands through mere words alone?
Nay, quite the contrary. I will end this cycle of bloodshed, starting with this child. With these blood-stained hands, I will end it all.
Your failure is inevitable, European. You are just a coward who can only raise his blade against his own child! A beast that murders his own kin. Royal Wing elites and Ephors of Kremnos! You cannot sit idly by and watch this atrocity unfold. If you consider yourselves the honorable sons and daughters of Gorgo, then take up your spears and join me in putting an end to this bloody charade!
Does anyone else have any objections? If so, come forward with your spear and prove your mettle.
Understood.
5, 4, 3. No one dare stand by my side. Cowards! Has that crown stripped you of your courage? 2, 1.
It appears there are no objections. Then, in accordance with the Kremnoan Council's principle of tacit consent, the decision is final. With all present as witnesses, this child shall descend into the Sea of Souls, where he will nourish the Lance of Fury and join the fallen heroes.
Did anyone else notice that? That line? Sorry to interrupt. That line, it's like the actor leans away from the mic partway through the sentence and then leans closer again. Listen carefully. Doesn't it sound like they get quieter and then get louder again?
With all present as witnesses, this child shall descend into the Sea of Souls, where he will nourish the Lance of Fury and join the fallen heroes.
Sorry, carrying on. But it just, I couldn't help but notice. It feels like they kind of, like, as he was talking, started leaning back a little from the mic, so he got quieter and quieter, and then partway through it, he started leaning closer and closer again to it.
May fate and the gods await your arrival. My son.
Stop!
If you have more to say, then speak. On account of the life we have shared together, I grant you this one final chance.
With the Blade of Fury above us and the Council bearing witness, I, Gorgo, hereby move to challenge the crown in accordance with the laws of Kremnos. O unworthy king, in the name of the Council of Elders, I demand that you duel me!
Very well. We shall see who the Kremnoan blade strikes down.
Midamos, my son. They all tell me to forget. But how could I ever? The son of Gorgo will be crowned in blood. If there is no Kremnos without the crown, then I shall seize the crown and smash it to pieces to bring the people to their senses.
The mother roared in anger. The armies remained in silence. Only the cries and the waves of the Sea of Souls echoed. Now, in your private bath chamber. Ever since the Battle of Nikador, you haven't slept so soundly in ages. Even if death itself came to rouse you, you'd proudly retort, why does life slumber? Because the bed is warm. It's a chill from the river of souls wafted by, a sensation hauntingly familiar. Could death truly be at your door? Best open your eyes, just in case. Oh. Hi, Castris.
Miss, you're awake.
Hi, do you mind? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, I think it was like, just after the story wrapped up in Penacony, there was an event with Firefly where you equally end up like laying down and Firefly's face just takes up the whole fucking screen when she leans over. Castris, why does life slumber?
That's a complicated question. I'm not sure I can answer that. I apologize for arriving uninvited. I saw that you were still asleep, so I took the liberty of waiting nearby. I bring a message from Lady Aglaya. She has prepared a gift for you and Dan Hong, and wishes to present it to you in person.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
I'm glad you're in good spirits. Alright, let's set off.
The Crown Prince of Kremnos revealed the past of the trials of Apophasis. The past gained through your travels. Head to the book and write it down. Oh boy, more reading. It's a story of the memories. How about Pink Memory Spirit then? Those flame-chasing people, those forgotten stories, as I've written. Since which day did he become known as mighty? His strength rivals all lands, but the man pays it no heed. For only the authority of a king can end another king, and only strife can end strife. The torrent of conquest crosses the barrens, yet with homeland's blood it is destined to be stained. None dare to shake his hand in greeting, for his hands burn as the blazing sun soaks in the might of the flames. What a mighty feat it is! In the aftermath of defeat, the man digs graves for the deceased soldiers, burying thousands with his own hands. In that fight, he crushes all invading blades with his fists. A body immortal may never fall, but tears of pain in his heart still flow.
His years of drifting made him detest water's waves.
They say that is the reason he's so unwilling to weep. But in Idona's blizzards he once did cry, a tear shed among the storm and frost, that bloomed into a lily stained with blood. Like his undying body, the flower never wilts. In time, the entire world will turn to ash. This haughty man shall be the one to leave behind the world's final beauty, though none are willing to believe. Unlike his kin, those patterns are carved with his blood, a matter so suspicious it stirs the ambitions of the mundane.
A blade that can cut through the mighty must be enough to slay gods.
The people to this day still seek it, yet it is simply a tradition he follows closely. Do not let your enemy notice that you are bleeding, and thus convince them that you are someone unsurpassed, a warrior supreme.
Apart from Kremnos' traditions, what do you have left?
The white-haired friend once asked. The man still goes silent and still, his gaze burning into the horizon, looking for a distant past. In his days of wandering, this same question was asked by thousands upon thousands, and he never denied.
That is why I walk on this path.
The same Jesus' path has been lit. Did you know that Akimo is full of stories about Midamos? He's just bursting with tales. Are all princes like that? Curious about his cousin mortality. Me too. It's hard to imagine what an undying body is like. If his arm accidentally fell off, would it become an immortal arm? That sounds terrifying. Oh, sorry. I made that up. It's not true. I heard someone say its ability isn't immortality, but defying death. Even if he suffers a fatal wound, he can resist the call of Thanatos and force his way out of the realm of the dead. Now that's an unbelievable kind of power. Still, there really are too many rumors about Midamos flying around. If they were all true, he wouldn't even have time to eat, would he? I wonder who's spreading all the stories. Sure is mysterious, don't you think? I'll light up 6 paths. Okay, so we're gonna meet a 6th person who's gonna start the journey, this story, then. How far does this go? Okay, up to 13, so not too much. Alright, sorry, Castor, as you were saying?
The baths are bustling. Now that Nikador has fallen, the soldiers in the city can finally catch a break.
I don't know how long I'll be able to live like this.
Is that Lady Treeby and Lady Trianne?
You must have forgotten.
I love that all of the versions of Treebios have the same voice actor.
Trianne, this is a counterfeit. We both know it's
So it's literally just the same
Mr.
actor
Fragile
talking to
have
themselves.
survived all those years in one
Basically.
piece. Nothing is impossible.
It's like Yu Narukami and Adachi in Persona 4. It's just Johnny Young Bosch talking to himself. It's so funny every time.
Look at that color and how it glitters in the
To be honest, like, I genuinely, I've talked about it a little bit in an older stream, but don't be surprised if at some point this year I stream Persona 4. I know I've said for a very long time that Persona games are way too long, and that's why I never stream them, even though I love those games like I never would, sort of thing. But I have been aching to go through Persona 4 again for a while. And I've been unable to shake it off. I miss the gang. I miss Adachi. I miss Dojima. I miss little fucking Nanako. And every day's great at your Junes. Like, I miss the gang so fucking much. And I'm just like, man, maybe I do need to go through it. For those who don't know my history of Persona 4 specifically, my total playtime on the original Persona 4 on PS2 eclipsed 1,000 hours. And I know that because the game stopped counting. When it hit 999 hours, 59 minutes, it stopped. And that was, I don't know, about 6 or 7 playthroughs before I stopped playing the PS2 version because I got a Vita to play Golden. And although I have problems with Golden, most of them graphical because the fog effects got fucking destroyed in a game that has a huge emphasis on fog, I still love Golden. I love the extra content it added. Even if, like I said, I don't think it hits the same. Like, Persona 4 is the most light-hearted Persona game in the series, for sure. But it still had atmosphere at times, and Golden kind of stripped all that out. And I think that was a damn shame. And a lot of the atmosphere that was stripped out wasn't even, like, the Golden new content's fault. It was that the fog effects and the lighting effects were drastically diminished on the shift from PS2 to Vita. And in the console port for it, they never fixed it, so it's still got the same bad fog and bad lighting. The beauty of it is that when the fog came in, you couldn't see shit in the original Persona 4. Like, you couldn't see a foot in front of you. It was like Silent Hill level fucking fog. You couldn't see fucking anything. And in Golden, you can see everything still. The fog is more of a suggestion. But because it's like that, you can see things you weren't supposed to see. You can see things that are like textures out of bounds that don't load correctly because you were never supposed to see them anyway. Like, you can see the boundaries of the maps. You can see fences randomly end where originally you couldn't see the end of the fences, so you just assumed they'd carry on. You can see hills you were never supposed to see, and you can see that they're just green textures. You know, like, you can see too much that ends up taking away and actually harming the experience. Because you were never supposed to be able to see them in the first place.
I want you quiet. If someone else gets to it before us, we'll miss our chance forever. Calm down, Trian. You need rest.
Please, there's no need to fret. If you need more time to make a decision, I can put this aside for you until tomorrow. Or until you're ready?
No, it's alright. Trian is just... She'll come to her senses tomorrow. We'll be off first.
Trian is just what? Trian is super mad, that's what! You've forgotten all about Mama! Mama gave us something just like this before!
Trian...
See you tomorrow?
There's merchants like, look, bitch, do you want it or not?
See you tomorrow. May the winds of fortune bless you.
Yeah, Triby's the leader. Trian is the one with a more fierce disposition. And is it Trion? I always forget the last one's name. Is the really shy, quiet one.
Excuse me, if you don't mind.
I feel like I've lost my mind. Yeah, same, brother. What's up?
Trian were discussing just now.
Oh, it's Miss Castoris. It's been a while.
But yeah, I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to do it, but don't be surprised if sometime later in the year I stream Persona 4. You know, anything to Pirate Yakuza? What, you don't like something that everyone else likes? Fuck, man, this has never happened before. It happens. Rey Nevaez Jr. is already fucking 100%ed it. He streamed it 4 days in a row, and he has, like, well, he plays on Xbox, so there isn't a platinum, but he has the 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score. Like, he loved it. Well, I say that to quote him, he said it's pretty good. It's not near his favorites, but he had a really good time with it. Well, you know I'm right. Everything I've seen on it, because I have been watching, because I'm not going to get to the game anytime soon, so obviously I haven't had the hands-on experience for it. The only complaint Ray had is that he felt the game as a whole was way too fucking easy, and keep in mind, he's not someone who plays games for challenge. He'd rather just kind of cruise through it and enjoy it, but even he found it too easy, so he played most of the game on hard to make the difference, and he enjoyed it way more when he did. like partway through like the second day of streaming it, he turned up the difficulty to hard, and although he still found it pretty manageable for the most part, he found it more enjoyable. The combat feels samey. Everything I've seen on it, it kind of looks like they used the same template from Gaiden, where you have one move set that's closer to something more traditional and another move set that's more out there and has a grappling hook involved. Because, you know, like you had like with like Kiryu, you had like the standard style that was more like, you know, Dragon of Dojima, and then you had like the secret agent style that had like all the extra like crowd control tricks and the grappling hook. And now Majima has Mad Dog, which is a lot more like close to something traditional, and then he has Sea Dog, which is more about crowd control and has a grappling hook. Getting the skill list, but man, I mean, it is what it is. Like, let's say, if you find the game too easy, then let's say just up it to hard. It won't make all the issues, but it seems to be enough to make it more enjoyable for Ray. But equally, like I said, me just watching it, I can see it, and he's not ignorant to it. Like he just like he just ends up coming out of it having a good time. But then he also, you know, did 4 9-hour streams in a row on that fucking game. Well, I said the last one was only 6 hours because he finished it. But still. He also said on his Twitter that it's the easiest 100% of the lot. Like, because keep in mind, Ray has 100%ed, as in got all the achievements, so basically got the platinum in every single RGG game. There isn't a single one he hasn't done. So, like, for him to turn around and, like, say this one's the easiest or this one's the hardest, things like that, I believe him, because he's done all of them. And now he's done Like a Dragon Pirates. He said it's the easiest, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But he had a really good time with it, and I haven't completely watched all of it yet. I'm only on, like, because, you know, 9-hour fucking streams, I only have so much free time. But I just got to the third part, so what he streamed on Sunday. And it looks pretty fun. It looks what I expect out of Yakuza. I know I'll have a good time when I eventually get to it. The only reason I said I'm watching it through is that I know I won't anytime soon, and I'd rather see what's going on before I inevitably get spoiled. Because it'll happen. It's part of the reason why I eventually pushed to go through Infinite Wealth, is because, like, it had been long enough that people were talking about spoilers super casually, and it's like a few were slipping through the cracks. I was like, no, I need to fucking play this game, otherwise I'm going to have the whole thing spoiled for me. So I'd rather do it on my terms and get to know everything, so when I get to it, I can just enjoy it. Trying skill based. Everything I've seen on the pirate stuff looks pretty fun. It looks very archaic. The fact that you can drift the whole fucking ship is mad. And then once you start upgrading it after you do all the shit at Mad Atlantis in Chapter 2, it looks like you can really do a lot to kind of build up a crew, make them how you want to make them, and then go just sail where you want to sail. I've also seen that, like, Chapter 2 is, like, fucking gargantuan. Chapter 2 is, like, the meat of the game, it feels like. Like, Chapter 1's a couple hours to introduce things, sort of like how Chapter 1 in Gaiden was a couple hours to introduce things. And then Chapter 2 is just everything opens up and there's a million things to do. And if you do side content as well, you're just lost in there for the next 15 hours.
See, I have a little hobby of collecting handicrafts.
But I digress. Everything I've seen on it looks pretty fun. Ultimately, it's like in Japan, it's called Gaiden. It's Yakuza 8 Gaiden because it is the smaller story in between entries, in the same way Man Who Erased His Name was the smaller story in between entries for 7 and 8. So I'm not expecting it to be some huge game changer. I'm just expecting it to be like a fun side story, and that's what it looks like it is. So I know I'll have a good time with it. The next, like, big one to look forward to in terms of RGG is going to be Project Sentry. Kill with X weapon. Oh, fairs. Because I don't think Like a Dragon 9 is anytime soon. I think that's part of the reason why we got Yakuza Pirates. Because I think 9 is a few years out yet. That's going was a game changer. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say so. I feel like the gameplay was a step down from Lost Judgment. It had its own tricks and unique things that made it stand on its own. But the reason why I remember Gaiden wasn't the gameplay, it was the story. And even then, most of the story is just okay. It just really, really fucking hits at the end. But I did really enjoy Gaiden anyway, but it was just kind of, it was sort of thing. But I digress. But yeah, like the next big game is Project Sentry. And Project Sentry, we haven't had it be confirmed or deconfirmed or anything yet, but it looks like a new engine. It looks like they're finally moving on from the Dragon engine, which, as we've spoken about before, they've been wanting to do for a while, because the Dragon engine wasn't built for multi-platform. When they built it for just the PS4. You know, nearly a decade ago. now. So I think, yeah, it's been 9 years. So Yakuza 6 was 2016, so yeah, like 9 years. I love Lost Judgment. I am super in love with that game. It's like my top 3 RGG games. That game it takes a bit to cook for sure, but once it finds its footing, I think it's like an all-timer. But that's just me. But yeah, let's say the Project Century looks like it's finally moving to a new engine, and that alone is kind of exciting because I imagine it's going to be less make a new engine that's super graphically pretty and all that stuff. Because the Dragon engine is already a beautiful fucking engine. It's going to be more about making something that's easier, more compatible with like Xbox and PC. Got a Tiger Drop though, yeah. Yeah, guys. The thing with Gaiden, with Erase the Name, I said I enjoyed it. I had a great time with it, but the gameplay did feel like when you see Lost Judgment at its peak, and then you look at Gaiden at its peak. Gaiden, at least to me personally, felt like a step down. It felt like I couldn't do as much. It felt like it was a bit more simple, and everything I've seen on Pirate Yakuza looks like it's the exact same template, so I know what I'm getting in for. Where it is just a bit simpler and a bit more. You have one style that's more traditional, one that's more crowd control and has a grappling hook, and it's the same setup in Pirates. But I know what I'm in for, and so I know I'll have a good time. The thing that made Gaiden like stand out to me wasn't most of the journey; it was the end of it. And I think a lot of people would like say that. Even those who like the journey more than me, they'd say the big reason you remember Gaiden is that last bit, the final boss and the ending. Both the final boss is some of the greatest of IGG's final bosses melded into one, and the ending, especially if you've been with the series for a long while, hits like a fucking pile driver. Even thinking about it's making me like feel a bit emotional, you know? That's just me. Yeah, it's to each their own. The whole thing with Gaiden is they made it very clear that it was 2 systems. One that was traditional Yakuza, one that was crowd control focused with a few extra gimmicks. That extra gimmick mostly being the grappling hook. Majima is a moveset that's more traditional, and a moveset that's more focused on crowd control that has a few gimmicks. And the main one being the fucking grappling hook that you get. It's literally the same fucking grappling hook. I think the only difference is that it's been way fucking longer since people have last played Majima, and people forget that like Kiwami 2 Majima in the Majima Saga kind of didn't have that big of a moveset because it was just for like a bonus mode really, and so it's not as much to work off of for Majima's base set, which is why they take a few more liberties with from what I've seen with Mad Dog, especially when it's more built, because they have to basically lean more on what they did with Zero, but at the same time not do brawler and like the thug style and dancer style, because that's not in his final moveset as much. I mean, that's lots of to each their own. Agent still didn't hold a candle to anything Lost Judgment did at its end, especially that style. I forget the name at the top of my head. I think it's called the Snake style. The style that they added to Lost Judgment, when that sort of expanded, that was the fucking game changer, because that is the OG crowd control mass destruction unit game mode that Gaiden's Agent mode used as a template, but then filled in the gaps, because, you know, Kiryu can't run along walls. Filled in the gaps by just giving him a shortcut to make it so you can zip right in front to the enemy when you need to, and that being, you know, the grapple. They filled in a slot by just doing a shortcut. It's like, yeah, fuck it, let's just give him something that allows him to zip in. The difference is that they made the grappling hook actually be involved in like the cutscenes, whilst everything I've seen on Yakuza Pirates is more just like, no, it's the gameplay thing. But I digress. It's hard for me to argue when it comes to a game I haven't actually played myself. I've just seen Ray play through it. And Ray balanced out both of them pretty well and got a feel for it pretty well. But he also opted the hard because he found the game too easy. And it's the first time he's ever done that. Because he's not in it for the challenge. He's in it to just have a good time. But he found it too easy, so eventually he did just to get more fun out of it.
But Lady Tree
And-
believed it to be a counterfeit. She said
That's all I can really say.
be from Yanasopolis. The likelihood of such.
Well, I know I'll have a good time when I get to it. I know I'll have a fun time with it, just like I did with Gaiden. In fact, I'll probably come out of it feeling the exact same way as I did with Gaiden. Great sort of, or like a standard game. It is what it is. Can't wait for the next one. See ya. Oh yeah, I've seen that fucking Shadow Clone Jitsu is like your ultimate get out of jail free card. But then you know what the ultimate trick then, if you're finding that too broken. I know it's not the end all, and it doesn't like deflate the criticism. You can still criticize it, but it's you control the buttons you press. Just don't fucking use it.
For some reason, Lady Trian became awfully upset after hearing that.
I know it doesn't absolve the criticism because you know there's the fact that it's there and it is as powerful as it is there. But if you want to just use the core mechanics, just use the core mechanics.
Madam, would you mind?
I think what is a genuine criticism, and I know I'm just kind of borrowing Ray's point here, he feels that it's way too easy and way too quick for you to get the attack boost upgrades. He felt like the attack boost upgrades should have been somewhat time gated or progress gated, instead of you being able to get so many of them so early. Because you can get so many of them that it turns a lot of the early game into 2-punch and you're done. Which is probably a big part of the reason why a lot of people are feeling it's too easy.
Certainly, it's just... if it truly is a relic from Yanasopolis, it could be worth a small fortune. Miss Casterus...
Oh, absolutely not. My point is, however, if one particular tool within the set is worsening the experience for you personally, you should be willing to choose not to use it. I fucking despise the carnival system in Kingdom Hearts 3. I just don't use it, and I have way more fun with the game as a result. I think the carnival ride system completely deflates any flow and fun from the gameplay. I get what they were going for, and it is a core mechanic of the game. I just don't engage in it because I feel it detracts more than it adds. There is absolutely still valid criticism for the fact that it exists, but for the sake of my own enjoyment, I make that option to not use it, and that's what I'm saying. If it is infecting your enjoyment, you should then just not use it. You control the buttons you press, choose not to use it. There are other systems and balances and tools that you can use instead to make it suit your experience.
I understand. Feel free to name your price.
Glare at her in silence.
I suppose I can sell it to you at cost as a sign of goodwill, Miss Casterus. Just promise to support my business in the future.
Much appreciated. We're lucky that she has a good heart. I'm not one to venture out often, and while I have some savings, it takes a lot out of me to even talk to people, let alone have
Stop the difficulty, then do it.
Had it been another
You control the buttons you fucking press. I know I keep saying it, but it keeps on holding it. You have the option to do that, so do it. Use what you want to use and don't use what you don't want to use. To cater the experience to your preferences. You're the one that spent the money on the game. If you want to enjoy it, you enjoy it your way. You know? Also, if you want OG Yakuza 0 brawler style, throw the swords in pirate style. I don't know why they hid it like that, but if Majima's not holding either of his swords, his fighting style is just OG brawler. They just put the whole thing in. And I was like, why can't we just use that anywhere? Why do I have to yeet the swords first?
The authenticity of the piece isn't important. What matters is that it holds special meaning for Lady Trian and reminds her of her hometown.
Absolutely, Casterus. Sorry, we'll get back to the story now. I've yapped enough RGG. But like I said, the next big RGG game I'm genuinely looking forward to is Project Sentry. I think that game's going to be fan-fucking-tastic. It looks gritty and gory as shit. It It's based in the, I think it's like the 1920s or 30s, something like that. It's got a noir feeling to it. It's got like a real like rustic edge. To me, I just look at it, I'm like, man, this looks so good. Like this looks like the super serious, gritty fucking Yakuza that people like. That some people have been wanting. Haven't seen it yet. The Project Sentry teaser. You should, dude. If you'll watch it and go, man, this looks like Yakuza 0 modern. As in, like, not as in, like, the same style. As in, like, it looks like it has that grittier, dark fucking edge to the story again. And listen, don't get me wrong, I like the more jovial wink-wink approach that Yakuza have had since 7. I genuinely like it. But I get that some people do kind of miss that viciousness of 0 and those earlier Yakuza games. And that's what Project Sentry looks like it's going to be. Because Project Sentry looks cold. It has a very, like, crime noir setting. It's got a good time period set to it. We haven't seen much of the main character, but we've seen that, like, it's a very fucking bloody and gory game from, like, the teaser that we were shown. Like, everything about it, I'm just like, Project Sentry might be the one. We don't know its full name, because obviously it's called Project Sentry. As in, that's not what the final game's going to be called. It might be called fucking something else. It probably will be called something else, but that's just what it's called for now. And the fact that it's called Project Sentry should also tell you it's not coming out this year, at least. 0. Oh, Gaiden had its moments. Gaiden was still, like, you could tell it was post-7, and it was still a bit more wink-wink at times, but as a whole, it had its moments. For me, I think the biggest surprise with Gaiden was how they handled... Oh, the Daijobi. I forget what they're actually called. I just call them Daijabo. That group. Like, they were, like, almost like the dark edge. Oh, 0 was absolutely very comedic until they ripped your heart out. But I also love that because 0 was a prequel, they could introduce any character they want and just kill off whoever the fuck they want. Because all you know is what you know from 1. And so you see a character that you're like, hang on a minute, I don't recognize you. They don't... The Daidoji, yeah, I call him Daijabo because it's funnier, but yeah.
Still, this trinket is admittedly rather fragile. I will have to make some adjustments and stitch it onto wool felt to protect it. That way, no matter how much Lady Trian runs around, it won't break easily.
Oh, Castor, it's just so you're so caring.
Back to business after that little detour. Let's keep moving. Don't stray far now.
Oh yeah, because they are darker versions than the Yakuza. You know why they're darker? Because they're fucking the government. That's how you know they're the bad guys. They work for the government. Oh yeah, up you come. Did you see Castorus went to step away and then had to sprint back on because her AI broke? That's funny.
It seems your friend arrived before us.
Oh, you're following me now, I just realized. Come, Castorus, let's go on an adventure. Yay! No, sorry, let's do this. I wish they had party members following you. I know, like, it would be like a huge strain on resources, but I wish, outside a story, whoever, like, if you have your team of 4, your other 3 followed behind you. So, like, for example, now, I have Feixiao, that Sparkle, the Herter, and Lingsha would be standing behind us, and they'd run with us. I know it would mean nothing, and it'd be a huge, like, cost of resources to have all the AI work and whatnot, but come on, I can't be the only one that thinks that would be kind of cool. It was creepy as fuck. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it makes sense why it wasn't, but I thought that was alluding to something in Infinite Wealth. Like, in hindsight, it makes perfect sense, because Gaiden entered development after Infinite Wealth, so anything that Gaiden set up, they wouldn't deliver on in Infinite Wealth. I think that's, to be honest, more setting up things for 9. I think that plot thread won't be picked up again until 9, and they're going to set up him... like, we're going to set up Shishido, they're going to set up Yamura as, like, central antagonists for 9. Well, I think Shishido is going to be a bit of a tragic villain by the end of 9, but you get my point. because you can clearly tell that he's going to be forced to be a pawn for something else. But that's how I see 9 going. I think it won't, like, I wasn't expecting for a second for it to get picked up again in Pirate Yakuza, and from what I can see so far, it's not. I think that won't get picked up again till 9, but I think when it does, it'll be heartbreaking. Because I think we're going to see Shishido get put right to the very bottom of the food chain. And be forced to suffer as the consequences. Welcome, he's already a tragic villain? I can see that.
And you as well, trailblazer from beyond the sky.
I didn't expect you to call me that.
Your companion here kindly explained the meaning behind the name to me earlier.
Oh, she knows what Trailblazer means now.
Through him, I've come to understand that you and your friends walk the paths of Kefali and Yanis in places beyond the sky.
You know what, Aglaya? That's actually quite clever, how they've written that. She's not going to know what the fuck the Aeons are, because her knowledge is restricted to this world. So comparing it to her Titans and what she knows, yeah, it would kind of be between Kefali and Yanis.
For all that has happened, it was never our intention to drag you two into the battle against Nikador and jeopardize your safety. To express our gratitude for your kind, trailblazing endeavors, we would like to present you with the highest honor of Akima.
Oh.
This is the dew of divine blood, brewed from crops nourished by the blood of the Titans. It is said that only 12 bottles existed. The last 3 bottles are now being kept in the treasure vault of Akima.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Back in the days of prosperity, cities fortunate enough to acquire it regarded it as one of the greatest treasures ever. Unsealing it during a
But yeah, we still have not 1 but 2 RGG games coming our way that we know about, and presumably more to come, because this is RGG. They don't understand what rest means, because they're making Virtua Fighter 6 and they are making Project Century. And I can't stress enough, because they're literally making a fighting game, they're making Virtua Fighter 6. If they don't have Kiryu in it as a guest character, I'm going to be a little upset. Or if not Kiryu, just someone from Yakuza. I know, like, they used to have that whole thing of, like, Kiryu would never hurt women, so we don't want him in a fighting game, which is why he never showed up in Tekken. But times have changed. You can have him be in a fucking fighting game. Who gives a shit? It's a fighting game. He struggle to just exist, yeah. Or if not, have Majima, or have Ichiban. I know Ichiban would probably be a better rep nowadays, but Kiryu is Yoji. You can't get rid of him.
And now, in keeping with tradition, Akima dedicates this drink to our esteemed guests from beyond the sky, in appreciation of what you have done for us.
And if they put Kiryu in a fighting game, I only have one request, and that is make him have Tiger Drop. Make him have a counter, because you can absolutely have counters, because a lot of characters have counters. Just have his counter just be the Tiger Drop. Please, it's right there. My hand is trembling under the weight of this gift. This precious gift isn't simply a token of gratitude, though, is it, Lady Aglaya?
Very perceptive, Mr. Dunhung. Your heroic deeds have
okay, that is entirely down to preference. I can think of a few more that I think hit a lot harder, but sure.
Testament, we wish to forge an alliance with the Trailblazers.
I mean, within Yakuza, you can make a strong argument for it, but in general, fuck no. For due respect, won't forging an alliance with the Crisis heirs embroil us into conflicts within Akima? I'm sure you can understand where our misgivings come from, Lady Aglaya. Wow, my gift, my gift. I need to think about this first. Having said that, Lady Aglaya, please don't misunderstand. We will still do what we can to assist you in the Flame Chase journey. It's just, I've heard of the friction between the Crisis heirs and the Council of Akima. As outsiders, we are wary of getting caught up in this conflict.
Wow, Gray and Danny have sharp eyes indeed. You'd make outstanding members of the Twilight Courtyard.
Gray and Danny, is that what we're being referred to as now? Who's joining us?
No need to worry, by the way. I can tell
who the fuck is
tone of voice and micro-expressions that she's being genuine.
Hi, who are you? And no, before anyone else, no, that's not the one that's Alicia. That's not Alicia. That's someone else. Must Die is again. Yeah, Must Die goes all in. Any fucking Blaze Blue track goes all in, actually, now that I think about it. Hang on. I could literally spin a wheel and land on the track that's like the most guttural fucking thing you've ever heard. Because that's just shredding the game. I love it!
Not only are you
But she's cute. You know what this is? This is just Barbara. This is just pink-haired Barbara.
You're practically heroes to us all. Lady Aglaia would never subject you to Aquila's judgment.
You are?
Hyacinth.
Hyacinth.
Thank you for taking care of the wounded of the past few days.
I think it was cotton candy here.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. The patients are very
And she's a healer? This is just Honkai Star Rail Barbara.
thrilled to see them all going home healthy again.
Are you an idol as well? For the town?
Oh, it's Cassie. Oh, I've missed you.
Gray, Danny, Cassie? Is Aglaia's nickname Aggie? Agli? Uh-oh. Is that a giggle of you finding this funny, or is this a giggle of I'm about to get smited?
Miss.
Yeah, Catherine's like, you're gonna get fucking smited. Huh.
You can't say that. Lady Aglaia should always be Lady Aglaia.
You sound like Hyacinth. You sound like you fawn over her a little bit. Lady Aglaia is just Lady Aglaia. You know, like she sounds like she's like almost excited to say it. That's adorable. This girl, she's a natural at making friends. She reminds me of an old friend with pink hair. Yeah, how is March doing?
As an acolyte of Aquila, I'm here to bring healing.
Oh, and that's why your name is Hyacinth. Because it's another name that has vaguely watery wording.
Must have brought us together.
Because Aquila has aqua in it, and Hyacinth is hydro, or hydrilics, or, you know, I mean, like things to do with water. Now it makes sense that you're an acolyte of Aquila because your name's got water themings in it.
Can we be friends?
Oh.
I'd love to hear your tales of the sky.
Okay, okay, she's kind of cute. She's kind of precious.
Such an invaluable gift to guests. Lady Aglaia, may I have the honor of tasting it too?
Please be a 4-star when you come out, because I don't want to roll for you. But I would like to get you. And also, hey, Honkai Star Rail, when's we ever getting another 4-star? Ever? The last one was fucking Mosey in like 2.5. I'm waiting. We haven't had a 4-star in so long. There isn't a single Amphoreus 4-star. Pennica, like the whole of the 2-point series, we got Gallagher, we got, I forget the name of the kid, the cleaning kid that's like, his name eludes me, but the cleaning kid, and we got Mosey, or Mose, or Moza, or Mozai, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. That was it. That was the entire 4-star lineup of the 2-point series. That is not good enough. For those who don't know why it's a big deal, I've mentioned it before, but the reason why it's important to have 4-stars in any of these gacha games is because it keeps power creep in control, because it allows there to be options for players that don't want to spend. Have options that inherit new systems and mechanics as they come out that are affordable and likely for you to get. So it makes power creep less potent. Having a lack of 4 stars means your only option to keep up with new systems and mechanics is to get the 5 stars, which will likely lead to you spending money, which is when power creep becomes a major problem. The game that's been of the Hoyoverse games, the game that's actually been handling it the best has been Zenless. Then Genshin, then this. This game absolutely handles it the worst because there's just no fucking 4 stars. So power creep is becoming a major issue in the game. In fact, power creep has been the main central complaint of this game for like the past 6 patches. Because every new character that comes out just, you know, inherits the new systems and mechanics, is built around whatever the new meta is, has all these new features, and is just better than older characters as a result. And your only way to get them is to just spend money half the time. Otherwise you're left behind, because there's no 4-star alternative that also inherits and tries out those mechanics. Genshin has a problem with 4 stars as well, but you at least get fucking 4 stars. You just don't get them as often as you probably should. Zenless has it the best because every faction outside of the Stars of Lyra and currently Obel Squad have 4-star options. Stars of Lyra doesn't because it's only 2 people. It's just Astra and Evelyn. And Obel Squad doesn't because it's just fucking Soldier 11. And we know Silver Ambi's 5-star, we know Trigger's 5-star, but there will be a 4-star one because it's usually a team of 4 and we only have 3 of them. So we know a 4th one's coming yet. That will probably be the 4-star. So the fact that basically every faction has a 4-star option, so you're never left behind, Genshin easily has it the best. I mean, heck, some of the factions are predominantly 4-star. Sons of Kaladin, I think it's with the new girl coming out as well in the next patch. I think Porshira makes it so the balance is half and half. There's 6 members and it's 3 4 and 3 5s. The Cunning Hares, it's 3 4-stars and 1 5-star. Or sorry, A ranks and S ranks use that game's terminology, but you know what I mean. With the Bellabog Industries, it's 2 and 2. Because Ben and Anton are the 4-stars, whilst Grace and Colada are 5-stars. Victoria has 1, because the other 3 are Lycan, Rena, and Ellen. So Sons of Caledon is half split because Lucy, Piper, and now Porshira make up the 4-stars, whilst Caesar, Lighter, and Bernice make up the 5-stars. The Police Squad have Seth. It's 1 and 3. Seth's a little outnumbered, but they have Seth because the other 3 are Jane, Shuyuan, and Xingyi. The special like faction units have Sokaku and the others. Like they all have a 4-star option.
Of course you may. Esteemed guests of Akuma, please believe me when I say that this gift carries no hidden agendas. As for the matter of the Alliance, you need not give me an answer here and now.
I imagine we will end up allying. Well, if you insist. I see. In that case, we will accept this gift from Akuma, and welcome the chance to talk with you, Lady Hyacinth. Man, they've fitted a lot of people into this one frame. And out of all of them, the funny thing is, do you know who stands out the most still? Fucking Cass. Like, everyone else, like, has a lot of, like, color and life to them. Castris looks pale as fuck. Where, she, you know, she is, like, an embodiment of, like, a piece of death. So she is basically almost very skeletal in nature.
Oh, yay! Then I'll get started on my questionnaire.
Okay, that's one way to make friends, Hyacinth. Do you think this is just because we had to go one patch without March? It's like we had to go one patch without someone really happy and really bubbly. So it's like, hey, look, we need a new March. Fuck, quick, make another pink-haired girl. Pardon my question, but I've been meaning to ask this for a mile. Micro-expressions, tone of voice, questionnaires. Are these all part of the usual skill set for Aquila's priests? Oh, and she's also religious. She absolutely is fucking Barbara 2.0.
This lady is Hyacinth, assistant lecturer of the new sporists at the Grove of Epiphany, and head nurse at the medical institution.
They literally just looked over at Barbara and copied the fucking homework.
Many of the Chrysos heirs suffered injuries.
But yeah, I bet she's cute, so I'll let it slide.
On Akuma. So the Grove sent Lady Hyacinth to treat the wounded in Akuma.
But what I'm really good at is helping people sort out what ails their mind and spirit. If you're ever feeling troubled, come find me.
You know what the real giveaway would be? If Hyacinth ends up as a 4-star, if she ends up as a 4-star, if she gets tied to an event, that will give it away that it's literally the equivalent of Barbara, to try and give a new group-wide easy access medic. Because otherwise your only other one is fucking Natasha from 1.0, and she, I'm sorry, just isn't good enough anymore. Barbara, she wasn't. Oh, so you're a therapist. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, it looks like everything's sorted out now. The patients have also all recovered. I think it's time for me to head back, Lady Aglaya.
I would love to keep you in Akuma for a few more days, but I would hate to provoke the ire of the Grove. As it happens, Akuma intends to send a messenger to the Grove for updates about the research on the Black Tide.
And she's got really sparkly eyes as well. Like they look like they're staring into my soul.
Cersei's cool flame at the earliest convenience.
Oh, that sounds pretty serious. Lady Aglaya, you can't be asking me to...
No need to fret. We won't put you on the spot. Trianne will be going there as the diplomatic messenger of Akuma, and Castris will be accompanying her.
I happen to have a few questions for Professor Anaxa as well.
Oh, Professor Anaxa, I believe, is next patch. But, you know, who gives a shit? He's a man. Castris is out next patch. Since this involves Akuma's diplomatic affairs, we will give you some privacy. Let's go out and play.
If you're not keen on just sitting around, Miss Trailblazer, why not go with him? The Grove is a picturesque place, perfect for sightseeing.
And we do need to take more photos for March.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Come visit the Grove, Grey.
We need to come up with a better nickname than Grey. Because firstly, it's Silver. Sounds good. Gaining more insight into the customs and geography of different regions of Amphoreus is also part of trailblazing.
In that case, do bring this spindle along with you. This tool, called the weft, is used to spin thread and has been passed down in my family through generations. Though it doesn't see much practical use nowadays, it's become a symbol of great significance. In this respect, it is the perfect token to represent my will. If you encounter trouble at the Grove, just take this out and show it to them. While you're in the Grove, the golden thread of the weft can also render all things around you visible, regardless of whether they're corporeal or not, allowing you to see things as I would. Castris knows this too. Make good use of it. Trianne is already waiting for you at the outskirts of Akuma, so I won't keep you any longer. May your journey be smooth.
Speak to Castris and Hyacinth and prepare to head out.
I'm glad to be in your company again, miss.
Yeah, it's glad to have you. Tell me about the Titan known as Thanatos.
Thanatos controls my fate, in a sense. The curse I bear came from them, and they have something of mine. Something of great importance that I must get back from them.
Who is Professor Anasia?
When I was studying at the Grove alongside Phainon and the others, Professor Anaxa was responsible for teaching us about the Chrysos heirs and the Titans. That's also when I met Miss Hyacinth. She was Anaxa's teaching assistant then.
What is the Grove of Epiphany?
The Grove of Epiphany is Akuma's partner academy. They look after the core flame of Circes, and are the organization at the forefront of researching phenomena such as the Black Tide and the Titans. They also provide academic research support for the Flame Chase journey. Several Chrysos heirs are based in the Grove, including Miss Hyacinth and Professor Anaxa.
Let's go.
I came here with a colleague from the Twilight Courtyard. I've asked her to pack her luggage in advance, so she's already waiting for us by the city gates. Let's go meet up with her.
Is this just a generic NPC, or is this going to be another character that I should be aware of, that you're going to go meet?
Look, there she is. And
Oh, of course
Trian.
it's one of the tree.
But who's that they're looking at? Did something happen, Clementine? Oh, that's a serious injury.
Miss Hyacinth, this man was discovered by Trian! Trian was in a bad mood this morning, so we went to the outskirts of Akama for some fresh air. But then we found him collapsed on the roadside.
Trian, the way that you interrupted makes me think you didn't discover him. You're the one that caused him.
Trian knows the city has good doctors, so Trian brought our new friend into the city to look for a doctor.
I was waiting here for Miss Hyacinth when I bumped into Lady Trian. But by then, this man was already in critical condition, so I had to perform some emergency treatment first.
These wounds, they're caused by the black tide. This is bad. Clementine, prepare a ward for this man at once. I'll treat him myself. It's a miracle he's still alive, considering how badly the black tide injured him. Grey, Cassie, and Trian, would you mind making your way to the grove first? Once this man is out of danger, Clementine and I will join you. As a healer, I cannot ignore those in need of medical attention.
I understand. May fate have mercy on this poor man.
Trian believes he'll get better. Everybody, follow Trian! Fly, fly, fly away from Akama! Down this road we go, to the skies we fly, leaving Akama behind! Little Cass, little Grey, are you ready?
Fucking, it's not grey. I'm not. Stop saying grey. You make me feel old. Are you not using a sentry gate?
You might not be aware of this, but using the sentry gate takes a significant toll on Lady Trian.
Mm-hmm. Trian promised Treeby that we wouldn't open the gate unless we had no other choice.
Let's go.
I'm ready too.
Okie dokie. Everybody, let's hold hands. To the grove we go!
It's harder than I thought to sew gemstones onto Wolfeld.
Cass memmy memmy mem. Memmy mem mem mem.
You just said Cass, mem. You actually said a name. Your English is starting to exist. Cass has such nimble fingers. I want to learn too.
Mem wants to try sewing. Here, why don't you give it a go?
I want to try too.
Sure.
Jesus Christ, why did that head just jolt at me like that? You saw that, right? That was like a frame. You go first, I'll cheer you on.
This is amazing. It seems as if their voice has become more intelligible after the battle with Nikador.
Wait, did you say a word again? Hang on.
Mem cheer mem.
Oh, right.
After spending the last few days together, I feel like I'm gradually gaining the ability to understand what they're saying. Even if it's just a little.
Mem 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 mem. Memmy mem 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 mem. Memmy mem 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 mem.
This shows that I'm learning new things. Once I obtain the memory of poking Wolfelt, will I grow hands that are as pretty as Cass's hands? Scary, don't teach her how to sew, Cass. That's horrible. You can't say that to a girl. Just kidding, anyway. I believe that this trip to the Grove of Epiphany will definitely be a fruitful one. You know, it's the same actress that's voicing Alicia. They legit had Alicia's actress sit in and go memmy mem 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 a whole bunch of fucking times.
Memmy mem mem. Mem.
Transform into a cute girl now. Hey, you don't have to yell.
Is everybody awake?
Oh, a pink puppy? Okay.
Little Grey, little Cass, and a little pink puppy?
I'm between speech all together, and here I thought she would just give me a nickname like Little Memmy.
It's already action hour.
Noon.
Lady Trian, I hope you're well rested. You were talking in your sleep. Did you dream of many things?
Sleep talking? What did Trianne say?
Something like, Mommy, doll with sword. Let's fight together. We'll be brave.
Ugh, it's so embarrassing. Please don't make fun of Trianne.
Of course not. Wasn't Lady Trianne's mother also the Holy Maiden of Yanasopolis?
Uh-huh. Mama was the strongest holy maiden in all of our history. She also gave us the prophecy of deliverance. And she had red hair that looked like a cute red mushroom. But Trianne can't remember what Mama looked like anymore. Not even in the dream just now.
In that case, Azel and I will lend Trianne a hand. So what's your superpower? Think about it. There are so many memories cast all over the world. Surely at least one contains an image of Trianne's mama. If I give a look up while searching for memories along our journey, then Azel can go boom! There it is. And not only will Trianne be able to remember what her mama looks like, she'll even be able to walk with her, right?
Trianne thinks that's a great idea. Can the pink puppy help Trianne out?
I need you promise to stop calling me a pink puppy.
Yay! And I'll call you Little Memmy from now on.
That's much better. Still, I'd like to know what exactly I am. That was just a name I came up with on a whim. Oh well, it doesn't matter, because I'll be sticking to my word anyway. Now that Trianne is cheered up, shall we get going? You can become really fucking chatty. Mem.
Okie dokie. Trianne remembers that we need to help Aggie ask the big tree whether Cersei's would be willing to visit Akama. If we follow this woven trail and keep going upward, we'll reach the grove in no time!
Alright, new area. 26 treasure chest. The Murmuring Woods Grove of Epiphany. Oh, there's a boss and... okay, the Bud of Treasures, that makes sense. Oh, fucking hell, there's a lot of floors, huh? I see.
Legend has it that whenever they requested an audience with Cersei's, Nestia would always come to the meeting in a long white dress. As the warps and wefts of the dress came into contact with the ground...
Oh, what does it mean to interrupt the conversation? I didn't realize you'd do that. So instead, she seems surrounded by a delicate veil, surrounded by glowing insects and bluish flowers. The scent inexorably brings to mind Menestia's legend of transforming into butterflies. Before becoming butterflies, it seems they too were a solitary, nocturnal wanderer who enjoyed solitary strolls.
Look! A huge tree!
It's like Sumeru.
Huge!
Oh, you want this? Fine. Take it and amuse yourself.
Grass has quietly crept up the folds of the statue's garments, and blue flowers bloom at its feet. The faceless guardian appears to have stood here for millennia, silently observing generations of scholars as they pass by. One wonders whether it guards the groves or waits for someone who will never return.
Take a look. This is pure genius in action.
Wow. It's so majestic. Azel, hurry up and capture the moment. A giant tree bows slightly in the silent forest, tilting and falling into the wilting green waves. A passing breeze rustles through the leaves as if it was singing, softly fading into the lightless ocean above on high. Would Marchseven appreciate this sublime scene? You're uncertain, done hung perhaps. Never mind. Every time we encountered a tree as big as this one, it would be a deeply troubling situation. Take a photo of the fucking tree. If I failed to impress, the photo deserves an award. What is this huge tree, though?
It's the Bough of Rift, the divine body of Circe's. Flora began to grow where they planted their roots, and this flatland basin upon which we stand gradually became a large, verdant forest. A long time ago, Felicis, the first scholar, led the masses to build a garden and courtyard in the forest, naming the site the Grove of Epiphany. There, people sought mental clarity, knowledge, and enlightenment.
Trian knows this. Everybody says that was how this big academy came to be.
But is the academy supposed to be this quiet?
Something feels off. The Grove has always welcomed scholars. So too would Circe's give us her delicate leaves and extend her branches in greeting. Yet, it seems both the Grove's messengers and the Titan are indifferent to our arrival.
So we have no way in?
There should still be a way in. I'm just a little surprised.
Maybe everybody's still asleep because classes haven't started yet. They don't want to be disturbed, so they shut the entrance.
For now, let's look around and see if we can find out what happened.
This place is too quiet. What in the world is going on?
Observe our great master Circe, such nobility and holiness. Circe's where? The master's mercy forgive your slightless ignorance. Aquila's enlightenment lies just behind me, read and bathe in the glorious radiance. The dreams of giants sank into the earth and grew into towering colossuses like me. Knowledge, like seeds born on the wind, causes flowers to bloom across the land, and withered branches to sprout anew. The world pours itself upon me like a spring. My eyes are clear, yet I cannot see myself.
Trian found it! Everybody, fly across to the other side! The entrance on the other side. Where could it be?
I knew you would find it. The courtyard of Storky should be just ahead of us.
Each morning, scholars would sit near the front rows here, listening to sages unveil the mysteries of wisdom. Over time, their seated forms left imprints on the steps. Perhaps this is what the sediment of knowledge looks like. In memory, it was a golden rain. Erosia, full of the world's love, returned at dawn, transforming into butterflies that scattered glittering scale dust, blending the bloodlines of those they touched. From that day forward, there was you in me, and I in you.
As I expected, something's not right here.
Even though we're not scholars, someone should have come forward to receive us by now.
Not to mention that this whole place is also eerily quiet. That's possible.
Hello? Is anyone there? No one's here.
I have an idea. Lady Trian, could you lend me that golden spindle? Do you remember? Lady Aglaia said this. While you're in the grove, the golden thread of the weft can also render all things around you visible, regardless of whether they're corporeal or not. This is achievable because the grove is not only where the roots of Circe's are, but also where the chrysalis of gold manifests. Oh, Nestia, with the weft as my vow, I beseech you, Entwine my body with your golden thread and affection. This is a proverb that was recorded in the handbook of Nestia's priests. If I'm not mistaken, we should be able to draw power out of this butterfly exuvia with the golden thread.
There isn't a reaction. Did it not work?
But that shouldn't be.
Everyone, look over there! Something's appearing!
Are they white dryad flowers?
Oh, I see a treasure chest, hang on. Oh, is this the game? Yep. Is this the bridge? Yep. White Dryad, what a cute name.
No, these aren't white dryads. These are shadows of dead white dryads.
Dead me, ma'am. Shadow?
Strictly speaking, these white dryads are still plants. They only gained sentience as a result of Circe's blessing of equality. But their sentience is minimal when compared to that of humans. These flowers have already died. What you see here are just faint afterimages of their souls. However, this also means that the golden thread has definitely connected with the Titan's presence. Without the golden thread's outlines, we would not have been able to see them at all.
But what happened to them?
Right, with these souls, I can see that like it's supposed to be a person with a cloak, and the cloak is split so you can kind of see down like their torso. But it doesn't look like it. The light behind them of the cloak, like behind the neck, looks like giant eyes, and it looks like it's like a giant, like a big bird with its like beak going down instead, sort of thing. Like, it doesn't look like a person. It looks like a big, like, at least to me, like, the light between, like, on the other side of their necks, like, in between and the cloak, looks like giant eyes that are, like, glaring at us. And the torso just looks like its beak.
Ma'am, can you read their memories?
Let me try.
Let me try.
Whoa. Mem. Hey! Let's say it together with me. You're distracting me.
Black cloak, sword toward the great tree.
That's it. The memories are too faint for me to see anything. I could only vaguely make out these words.
I have a bad feeling about this. The deathly fog of Thanatos is fast approaching.
Oh! Trianne will be on high alert!
She says now. Master Kalinicus, we have installed bronze detonators along a number of the Grove main roads you instructed. Very good. We can proceed according to plan. There will be no issues on the technology side. We have already held detonation tests and ensured that they are able to damage the bodies of Titans. It's just what? It's just that such methods are blasphemous. Such things are not important in a moment of crisis. What matters most is how we slow the invasion of the Black Tide as much as possible. I never thought that when our backs were against a wall we'd be forced to use the Anaxia's wicked ways. Other scholars held such reverence for the gods that they never researched such evil technology. Even if the Titan disagrees, it's not like they'll say anything. Alright, that's enough lamenting. Gravitas, you have another important mission now. I need you to find a way to leave the Grove immediately and head to Arkama to request aid. I do not know if the Grove can withstand this threat. If we can just hold out until reinforcements arrive, then all will be well. If not, I have no choice but to entrust the core flame to the woman. You want me to leave the front line and be a deserter? No, there is no way. You are a crisis heir. If anyone is going, it should be you. Don't argue with me. You know we'll never win. It is precisely because I am a crisis heir that I must stay and fend off the Black Tide. I will endeavour to ensure we survive until reinforcements arrive. I may be a scholar, but I know a bit about fighting. Any normal Black Tide monster is no match for me, so you need not worry. I just don't want to be. Calling for aid is not desertion. If you are not prepared to risk your life, the Black Tide would simply intercept you and kill you before you made it to Arkama. Gravitas, you are the fastest among us! Will you accept this important duty? I will not let you down. May Circes protect your mind, Master Kallinicus. Heh. May the Circes protect your mind.
Death is becoming more and more intense.
Oh,
There,
great.
on the steps.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, can I squeeze around and get this chest first? Thank you.
Take a look.
I'll mark the next
This is
few.
your genius in action.
This looks really scary.
What kind of beast is this? Or is this the Death Titan's kin?
No, it's neither of those. This is a creation of the Black Tide.
Oh, okay. This is
Creatures are formed when living beings
the
are
Stellaron.
corrupted and turned into deformed hollow husks of their former selves. Everybody, stay alert. Regardless of what has happened to the Grove, the fact that we're seeing the remains of a Black Tide creation here definitely doesn't bode well.
Should we inform Aggie about this? Ma'am!
Wait. That black thing seems to be moving. Okay, these things are kind of cool.
The monster is alive! Trienne will protect everybody!
Trienne, please hide behind us. Miss, let's do this.
Certain enemies will inflict ally units with corrosion. Attacking enemies will restore corroded HP. The more targets hit, the more restored.
As expected. The words black, sword, and cloak. They're talking about the Black Tide.
Can you find the answer?
Curiosity. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Glimpse the unknown.
You defeated it! Little Gray, little Cass!
What did Cass do?
Wrong!
But those monsters, they aren't supposed to show up here, right?
To think the Black Tide has spread this quickly to the Grove despite its remote location. I'm afraid a world where strife has fallen is far more dangerous than we ever imagined.
Oh no! Does this mean that Akama is also in danger?
Probably.
Looking at this mess, it seems the scholars at least succeeded in fending off the first wave of attacks. But at what price?
At the same time, in Arkama,
Lady Aglaya, after a few days of surgeries, both major and minor, we were able to save the life of that patient found on the outskirts of Akama.
Thank you again, Hyacinth, for your hard work.
The scarring of his organs was especially severe, a result of the Black Tide's corruption. It's a miracle he's even survived. I can't say for sure when he'll regain consciousness.
Don't stress yourself out over this. You've already done everything in your power to save him. There's no need to hurry to the grove either. You deserve a good rest now. Tribi, I have some things to tell you as well. There's something strange about where that patient came from. He is not Akumen. The way the stitches on his clothes are hidden is quite unique. Such craftsmanship is undeniably from the Grove.
The Grove? You mean...
Now that I think about it, Castris and the rest should have arrived at the Grove by now.
Trian just got in contact. The Black Tide has invaded the Grove. We haven't detected any survivors, even with the help of the Golden Thread. What should we do, Aggie?
The Black Tide is posing an even greater risk to us now. I did not expect the Grove to be the first to be impacted, though. Can they tell where the core flame is right now?
We see it. The core flame is still there, but...
But... what?
But they can't see for sure whether the Titan has also been corrupted by the Black Tide.
Please let them know that for now, the most pressing task is to identify the core flame and transfer it to a safe place as quickly as possible. We must also search for survivors and find out exactly what happened to the Grove. Oh, and find Anaxa. Unless something went terribly wrong, he should still be alive.
They've set off. Please, stay safe, everyone.
I pray for their safety too.
Aggie, how do you know that Anaxa is still alive?
I know that man all too well. If that blasphemous performer knew that he was not long for this world, he would most certainly try to seize the core flame and drag the Titan down with him.
Oh wow, okay, you don't think much of this guy, huh?
Is this a joke as well?
No, I'm being serious this time. We're facing threats from both within and without Akuma. The merciless carnage may have ceased, but Akima's nemesis continues to sharpen their blades even now. They may have even prepared the gallows from which to hang us already.
You mean...
Even if the divine authority of strife is as yet unclaimed, the Black Tide is advancing more rapidly than I expected. I fear this tragedy is more than a mere natural disaster. Alas, it's too late. The Council will likely take this opportunity to do something... I will try to keep this under wraps for now. But you must also take care and be prepared for anything that may happen.
All right. Should I inform Hyacinth about this?
Not for now. She must be exhausted after performing surgeries non-stop for so many days. I don't want to overwhelm her with this bad news.
We can only hope that the Grove weathers this crisis with as many survivors as possible.
That being said, based on the condition of this patient, Tribi, we should prepare for the worst. It's likely he is the only one who managed to escape from the Grove against all odds.
Well, that's promising.
Everything will be fine. The people at the Grove are really smart. They'll definitely be able to chase away the Black Tide.
Aglaia said that Anaxa is still alive. If that's true, then there is hope for everyone else too. Who is this Anaxa anyway? Why doesn't anyone seem to have some kind of trust in him?
How should I put it? Lady Aglaia doesn't trust Anaxa at all, I'm afraid.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Were you in a similar situation before, friend?
Believe me, she is far nicer to the two of you than she is to Anaxa. Despite being a Chrysosaur, Anaxa resolutely believes that Titans and prophecies are a load of nonsense.
Oh, yeah, that would go down well.
During our regular citizens' assemblies, he always votes to oppose the Flame Chase journey.
Huh? Are you still able to conduct research here? Didn't you just say that the Grove is the academy that was established around a Titan?
Trian knows the answer to that. Everybody says that Circes, who symbolizes reason, is the most tolerant of novel ideas. Apart from Kefali, they're the Titan who treats us the best.
Well, it looks like Cersei's must be really open-minded if they're accepting even that kind of novel idea.
Yes, that is how we formed an agreement with these titans who bear no harm toward humanity. If they agree to support us on our flame chase journey, we will wait till the final moments of the journey to restore their core flames.
With the exception of Oryx, that is. They didn't lend us their power willingly.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think Oryx was as reluctant to help us as you put it, or they wouldn't have deemed Hazel worthy and allowed me to journey alongside all of you.
That is true. It's also fortunate that these gods weren't corrupted by the Black Tide and did not descend into madness.
Trianne believes Cersei's will be alright. After all, everybody says that the people of the Grove are really smart. So, Little Gray and Little Cass, just leave the task of finding Anaxa and everyone else to Trianne. It's easy for Trianne to look for people because we can fly.
Good idea. In that case, please bring the weft along with you, Lady Trianne. The golden thread will be much more effective from up above. Please promise us that you'll take care of yourself.
Okie doke. If Trianne gets in trouble, we'll look for all of you. In return, if you get in trouble, remember to call for Trianne, okay? We'll come right over and open the gate for you.
That's the other thing I wish to mention. Do not open the gate unless you have no other choice, Lady Trianne. Your body is not in good shape at the moment.
Okay. We will keep that in mind. Trianne was just trying to help.
Of course, we know that. After all, Lady Trianne is a demigod, the most powerful among all of us here. Remember all those brave heroes and the tales you've heard. They would always save their strength until the very last moment. That way, they could ensure that nothing went wrong with their plans. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. In that case, brave Trianne shall clear the way for all of you.
Oh, little Trianne is so motivated. I mustn't fall behind. Oh, it's something to help out my friends that only I have. Oryx's power. Wonder if I'll find any memories.
So many monsters.
The monster's body is twisted like brambles, not allowing any living being to approach. Let me see. Ow, that hurt! I didn't even detect any memories. It's pretty obvious how this guy died. The fucking pillar got him. What a brutal way to go. The black-covered monster has fallen like a toppled statue. Within its body lies golden ashes, perhaps the same substance as the golden blood that is commonly seen in Amphoreus. It's no good. I didn't see anything. A despicable, twisted life form. It was once a living soul that could mourn pain, but now it only turns its head at others until its soul drifts silently out of its shell. Maybe the monster will show us some useful memories. I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. I really tried my hardest. Why couldn't we even get a sliver of a memory?
It could be because when a life is devoured by the Black Tide, it loses its soul.
Take a look. This is pure genius in action.
Oh, that's behind the locked doors. We couldn't get that anyway. That makes... Okay. It's locked.
Can't open it. It was probably sealed in order to ward off the black tide.
So keyhole this door.
Yes. Most of the doors on Amphoreus are sealed using the power of Yanis.
Since the door of creation of the three titans of fate, maybe the eyes of Onyx will help me find a way to open it.
Are you serious? Just a mere door, and your first instinct is to call on the gods? Before you try unlocking the door, perhaps you should first find a way to clear the fog that clouds your vision.
You scared me. Are you in Echoes of a Memory?
My name is Anaxagoras.
Anaxagoras. Okay, fucking.
And the founder of the New Sporists. Before we go any further, rule number 1. Do not call me Anaxa.
Anaxa. I was going to stick to Anaxa. Now, can you tell me? Oh my god, this is fucking Al-Hytham level arrogance. I see it. What a difficult person.
The person standing here and conversing with you right now isn't the vestiges of a memory. Rather, it is the culmination of the greatness of science and the pure...
Oh, Jesus Christ, I can see why they don't like him. This guy is full of himself. Oh, and he's into alchemy. Hey, your new name is Luard. Alchemy can do that?
Nothing is impossible. Having said that, alchemy is not omnipotent. Each time you hear from me, an equivalent part of my soul is being consumed as the price. In other words, this voice isn't created out of thin air.
But how is it that you can respond to me? Are you really the echoes of a memory?
That's because my precise calculations account for every possibility. I also know that you have already discovered the cause of the calamity at the Grove, the Black Tide, and that you mistakenly believe that the scholars have been wiped. But that is where you're wrong. While the Black Tide was still approaching the Grove, the sages found a way to evacuate the vast majority of the scholars. They are heading toward the holy city of Akama as we speak. Only a small fraction of the scholars stayed behind with me to defend the Grove. If all goes well, Cersei's core flame will reach Akama before long. But since you have accessed this message, something unforeseen must have occurred. For now, you should continue onward to the Luminary Throne, where you may retrieve the core flame. And our mortal remains. And now, the objective is complete. That is all.
He disappeared again. Did you finish what you wanted to say?
Yes. Judging from your reaction, you must have found a useful memory.
Recount what you just saw.
Professor Anaxa? That's a lot to digest at once. I'm sorry. Please give me some time.
He said his name is Anaxagoras.
You don't have to take that too seriously. For some reason, he's especially particular about his full name.
No spirits in alchemy refer
Professor
to...
Anaxa theorizes that all beings originate from the same source and have a similar composition, which in this case refers to the soul. He calls this theory...
God, this weather is miserable out there.
It is an extremely complicated theory. You should get him to explain it himself if you're interested, provided that he is still alive.
Everyone seems to have been evacuated.
Yes, that seems like the only good news so far. We can just focus on retrieving the core flame then.
Perhaps Anaxia did not manage to survive.
I do not wish to consider this possibility. Perhaps they were just unable to transfer the core flame, but managed to escape.
We have to go to the Luminary Throne. The Luminary Throne? What sort of place is that? Why would there be a throne at the Academy?
It is located at the top of the giant tree, and is where Cersei's core flame is kept. The according to Anaxa, the core flame should still be there. But making our way there won't be as simple as the professor made it sound.
Oh, but on the bright side, it sounds like a place that's easy to defend and difficult to attack. If that's really the case, I think that everyone, including Anaxia, will definitely be alright.
Right. Let's see whether he left any similar directions for us along the way.
Hey, the door can only be opened. It looks like the message was served as a lock.
Alchemy is truly incredible.
Yes, it is. Hey, do you know what comes out in a month? Yumiya. No worries, dude. Thanks for hanging out. I was going to wrap up soonish as well anyway, because of this weather being horrendous. I kind of want to get some shit done around the house, you know? Because obviously I'm not going to be able to put the washing out, so I need to sort out the washing properly. But I'll go for a little longer yet. I want to at least get to find out what this fucking Anaxia prick is a little more, and then wrap up there. Huh? And then we'll be back for more of this tomorrow. There's no one here. Did I just imagine that singing?
No, you didn't imagine it. I heard it as well. I'm afraid that someone's probably nearby. As we are unable to ascertain whether they are friend or foe, we better remain cautious.
Giants raise their glasses in a toast beheld by the 12 constellations. Heard the voice again. This time it's coming from... Oh, I have no clue where it's coming from. There's too much echo in this library. That's why you're supposed to be quiet in a library. I know! Also, I was even the one singing.
Found it. The voice is coming from over there.
White Dryads? White Dryads are dead from White Dryads like before?
No. It seems to be coming from somewhere even further that way. Let's go check it out.
I've only found 2 so far. Yet, hi, how many are there? There are 20 here. The soul that seeks understanding, love and wisdom are but one life. The thirsty approach the water only to dissolve in the moon's reflection. Okay, we can't do any... Can't be used in current state. Yep. I'm also getting a little hungry, which is the other reason why I want to wrap up soon. Crisis of Gold, Minessa. Weaving fates of hearts, listen to me, purest beauty in the grace, deepest passion in your hate. Statue resembling an old man draped in robes, seated in deep meditation. Meditation, not medication. Resembling an old man draped in robes, seated in deep meditation and capable of singing. Stroke the statue.
Regardless of what you do, a stone won't be able to speak.
Whoa, whoa, who's there?
Such a lively little bunny. You even smell a little familiar.
What a good-looking ghost.
What a smooth-talking child. I'll accept your praise.
Who are you? Keep your distance and identify yourself. Otherwise, you'll face the consequences.
The scent of Thanatos. I recognize you. Idonia's renowned goddess of death.
Since you are aware, stop provoking the authority of death. Answer my question.
Baring your fangs at me. How cute. Just call me Calypso. I greet you on behalf of the 7 sages and the litophagists.
I understand what you're saying, but are you a spectre?
Of course not. Just ask the fair lady beside you. She'll definitely know the reason why.
Be careful. Even if the head of the Lotophagists has never shown their true identity before, we shouldn't trust this person so easily. The Weft could not detect her presence just now. That would be out of the ordinary if she were truly a phantom body. But if she is someone who has passed on, I should be able to tell. Let me test her.
Do you mind if I join your private conversation?
That would be rather inappropriate for someone who isn't even willing to reveal their real self. Forget it. However, I'm going to ask you some questions. Please answer them truthfully. If you can do so without hesitation, we won't treat you as an enemy for the time being.
A pop quiz? Well, that sparks my interest. Go ahead.
What was the topic for the grand finals of the 752nd Great Debate?
Is a flying arrow in motion or at rest?
Who was your representative?
Medea. She went up against Phynon of the New Sporists.
Who won?
Nobody won because the 752nd Great Debate never took place. What I just mentioned happened during the previous debate. Phynon emerged victorious and obtained his 10th consecutive debate wreath. Also, to alleviate your worries, I shall provide you with a piece of information that's more valuable than the Great Debate. Anaxa the New Sporist is still alive. I saved him, and he is now recuperating at the Luminary Throne. So, are you satisfied with my answers? This dumbfounded expression of yours is much more adorable and likable than the previous one. As the saying goes, seeing is believing. Why don't you follow me to the throne and take a look for yourself?
I'll keep my eyes on you at all times.
Oh, that's truly an honor.
With that, the discussion's over? I guess so.
As long as we can get the water wheel turned,
oh, and now there's the
we'll be able
puzzle.
to use it to ascend. So, the solution is to awaken this heart.
Alright, and because I'm... What the fuck happened there? I was trying to see if I could replicate it. Because I'm admittedly getting kind of hungry, I think I'm going to call it there for today. And we'll do some more tomorrow. Yeah. I know like we do the end of stream rolls. I'm not rolling. Because we can use our standard. There's your end of stream roll. Because I'm not interested in Yunli. I'm not interested in Tribi, even though Tribi is fucking another quantum character, so add it to the team. I am only here for one thing, and that will be Casterus in 6 weeks' time, which hopefully, I drown it, but by then I'll have a bit more than fucking 29 rolls. But I digress. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And additionally, you can find my BlueSky and Patreon in the description of every single video. Lastly, consider joining the membership if you haven't already. You can get access to a bunch of emotes. There's another way of supporting me directly as well. Oh, there's more things to pick up. Here and here, huh? Okay. Until then, though, you take care now. Peace.